Fresh from Kazakhstan in front of his home crowd, his home audience. Probably never in a million years thought he'd get to play a tournament in his home country.
No, it's kind of crazy that we're here in Kazakhstan. Well, the PGL event. I mean,
it's kind of crazy that we're here in West Michigan casting the event
exactly.
out of Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that's true.
We're a Dutch Catholic country casting Kazakhstan.
I flew over Kazakhstan actually on the way here. So, yeah, it was quite beautiful looking down there.
Perfect. I think, you know what, on the treadmill, they have a Kazakhstan running thing, and I've done it, and it's beautiful. It looks like a beautiful city. We're live right now into the game. So, Virtus.pro NiP. Pissed around is hot. Dualies on Flit. And you've got some utility picked up for this T side, and I'm already here typing, so I think we're going to get a not live.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, we're going to start this
not
one
quite
right back
hot,
over.
But it's getting there. It's warming up as we get into the start of train. So obviously that tech issue still being had at the moment. Another Kazakhstani AWPer.
Yes.
MongolZ. He's here, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes down. MongolZ, not anybody was really expecting him to even show up. I've never heard of him, so I'm glad that he's got an opportunity.
Well, they lost to the Mongols earlier today. MongolZ, just as you brought his name up, because I'm looking at the statistics, 42 and 39, 83 ADR on the series, a 1.0 rating. So not bad, not great, but it's a tough team to go up against as your welcome party into a new roster into Tier 1 Counter-Strike. So I don't know, pretty admirable performance, and obviously haven't seen it quite yet. So we'll check that one out a little bit later.
Got to see the Mongols recently. I was in their home country. And I hung out with the Mongols for about 10 minutes.
Oh, cool.
They were in full swing. They had a show match. It was old Mongols versus new Mongols.
Okay.
And the new Mongols had zero mercy, Jason.
Sure.
They absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah.
So they're locked in.
They're just like, look at how much further we've taken this.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at how much further we've brought Mongolian Counter-Strike.
And I think that's a cool story around the Mongols at the moment is like they had a great end to last year, a great performance at the major. They won a tournament just before that. I think the start of this year has been slowly crumbling away.
It's the stall out this year that's really disappointing, especially because they've had a number of events where it's like, bro, the top teams aren't here, and you guys have been on a hot streak. Like this is an event essentially for you guys to win. So yeah, some really disappointing results for them to start the year. Was it Bucharest? I think where like none of the PGL Bucharest, where none of the top teams were in Mongols in Eternal Fire, then Aurora were expected to be the kind of teams fighting for it, and both of them get grouped. So that was a disappointing event. So for them, for Mongols, this event is kind of about recovery and leading into the major, getting some good vibes and good feelings go in your gameplay so you can head into the major with confidence.
Yeah, and I mean, Mongols are going to have a lot of support as well in Kazakhstan, being a representation of Asian Counter-Strike. They're just next door in Mongolia. So definitely a really important event for them to step up and start delivering. A lot of chit-chat going on. Don't have the information as to what the problem is at the moment.
Maybe they're playing Hangman in the chat.
Maybe that is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or, dude, how would you do that? Chat?
You'd have to put a lot of faith in the person running the operation.
Okay.
But it'd be easy to just put them some letters in the chat.
I think I could trust Snappy with running the operation.
Snappy is a trustworthy person. You take one look at that face, and you can just tell that that's an honest man.
Is indeed. We have got the returning Portuguese players, Varys, Dawson, Ujurks, and damn, their old team is suffering without them.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, but you can understand why. That they seem to be the most potential filled like young talent that we've seen come out of that region, and that team's obviously made the decision. Without those two in the team, the conversation very much kind of fell into the whole we can't really rebuild within Portugal, so time to go international. So another org has kind of taken that leap into being willing to open up their recruiting ranks to other countries and kind of mix things up away from their mother tongue and their mother language. But, those two guys specifically, just to focus on them now at NiP, are now under the helm of Snappy, who you'd hope can foster some development and take these guys to the next level, because I think that's really, when you look at this roster of NiP, there's a lot of gambling from the organization, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad gamble, but on Ujurks, on Erzdos, on Wrinkle, kind of rising to the potential that they see in these players, and that's what NiP is counting on for this roster. The strength of this roster is those three players making an increase, and then you have the experience calling of Snappy, and then you have the experience calm presence of Shush to kind of round that out. But really, it's those three guys who are going to be the engine.
Yeah, and you can see here that the VRS forecast, as we were just waiting for everything to be resolved. You can see that it will be a significant jump up here for NiP to get a win here. Only 2 places up if VP get a win, but we're talking 9 places right now for NiP.
And that's just one map, which is why this event is so important for NiP, right? If they win the, or excuse me, this is just one series that they would jump up nine ranking places, or excuse me, that's actually 12, Dinko.
What's 12?
I didn't want to throw you under the bus on that one.
I just read from 45 to 36. Yeah, okay. It's early in the morning.
Yeah, it's all right.
Here.
But yeah, that one series win is 12 ranking points.
It's even better.
Yeah, I know.
What a surprise.
You add in a great run to that, and all of a sudden it's like not 12. It's like we just gained 20 ranking points. So yeah, a huge event for NiP to see if they can climb some of this as the major's right around the corner and get a jump on the next VRS.
Next time I mess math up, just run the bus over me, Jason, all right?
Yeah, I got you.
You can hit me with that bus.
I'll stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Electronic just had a smile on his face, though, so that's a good thing to see.
Dude, it was cool in Bucharest, hearing him scream at his teammates. I enjoyed it.
It gave you a glimpse into like what the in-game leaders sometimes are like, and
he's like, I'll remember it vividly about just they didn't plan properly. They lost around on the lack of plan.
It's one of those things where like it's really easy to look at that Electronic from the outside and be like, that's a horrible thing to have happened. Like, what a crazy presence to have in the team. But also, it's just like, it might not have been the best point, but that conversation probably didn't need to have. Someone did need to say that at some point.
Yeah.
It wasn't maybe the greatest thing during the live match, but it had to happen.
Yeah, well, here we go. All the issues resolved. Ready to get into the action. And we got Shush for the Molotov. 2 flashes for Snappy. There was DOS on a smoke and a flash for Wrinkle. So a lot of utility here for NiP into the pistol. And we've got a kid on Electronic, so keep eyes on that in the minimap. Number 1. Yeah,
just, it should be a pretty clear cut looking at the minimap. This is going to be an inside execute with the utility. With a Molotov, with the smoke, we'll see where they place him exactly. But going to be an inner hit, and you have a very passive setup. Fame is going to be on the upper ground, hiding in the corner. You have Flamus way back at that first train, just peering towards the lower ramp. And there's no sound on the map. Just now, Virtus.pro has pushed Ivy. They've got the information. A third player is rotating over. He's going to miss the timing, but they're playing passive anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, they have a lot of great utility down for Khan, so that allows Udrix to move forward. He's going to take Electronic out of the equation, and Shush was so deeply pushed into the B bomb site that Fame was just confused. So ends up being Flit and Icy. 2v4 in this situation. Bomb planted in the middle of the site. Udrix on the flank around the back lines. Wrinkle's going to start taking their straight up duels against Icy, leaving the flank to take the final kill. So NiP, they lose 1 player, but a really cool executed pistol round into the B bomb site has paid off.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like an idea of protocols for Virtus.pro. I don't know whose necessarily the responsibility was, but the upper player kind of tucked behind that building in the corner sort of drops down and doesn't have information on the scaling up sidewalk, crossing towards Z and kind of fighting towards CT spawn. That information never got over to the VP defense. So just a lot of real estate given up at the inner bomb site for NiP to kind of take advantage of, and boy do they. Boy do they.
Some really do.
Shooting. It's 1-0.
I seen the headset come off for Shush. He was talking to the admin, so might not be fully done. But I guess there's some time to talk about the new coach on the block here for VP. Finn just got added to the team.
This is what, the 3rd or 4th coach, I believe, in recent memory?
Yeah, they've had Dastan into Zoma, into Pashnoi, now into Finn. Now, Finn, you may remember his name from a list of naughty coaches.
Naughty coaches.
But before the naughty coaches, he was a part of the Gambit youngsters team, which was the Shiro Exile that turned into Cloud9, turned into Gambit first. But yeah, he was the coach of that squad. And that's his kind of biggest moment in his career, I would say.
Yeah.
Hasn't necessarily been able to follow up on that, but I think he's got experience. He's been behind some solid players before. Interested to see how that's going to go inside of VP, but that coaching gig seems more like a summer internship right now at VP rather than an actual job.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a revolving door as they try and find the right person for the job, and it's not always an easy thing. I think you can have an extremely qualified coach who doesn't connect the way he needs to with the players, and you can have an extremely unqualified coach who connects perfectly with the players and actually can maybe provide some more value. And obviously, as we just kind of alluded to with that reference to Bucharest, Electronic is going to take a coach that sees the game very, along the same lines as him. So I think, if you're going to make this move of Electronic as your IGL, get him, search around for whatever coach he feels comfortable working with and standing behind him to try and make this project move in the right direction. Still have that tech issue. You can see everyone looking intently over at Shush's PC as we wait. 1-0 start for NiP after the pistol here on Train, and that's all we've got so far. Over on the main stream, or the A stream, I should say, is going to be Na'Vi taking on M80. So
wow.
That game's happening over on the other PGL broadcast.
I'm sure Na'Vi are going to be another team that has a lot of fans out there. They have fans wherever they go, but I think Kazakhstan in particular will probably enjoy their presence. I mean, we look at the M80 squad. That's another team that we haven't seen very much of recently, despite having some upswings last year.
Yeah, despite their kind of positive stuff that we saw, that you're right. They've sort of fallen away from it as well, which is kind of sad to see. So we'll see if they can rediscover some magic. But I think really the focus should be on Na'Vi in that matchup. As much as I love M80 and want to see them do well and want to see those players and North American players do well, I think the conversation there has to be about Na'Vi, considering the state of them this year that has been extremely disappointing. And yeah, most of their losses are to the best teams in the world, to your Vitalities, to your Spirits. But certainly after the year they had last year, the best team of 2024, this has been a disappointing start to 2025.
Oh, absolutely. The teams around them are getting better, getting stronger. Na'Vi slowing down. We get into round 2. And it's a full eco here for VP, so it should be a comfortable 2-0 start here for the Ninjas. I don't think I've called them Ninjas in Pyjamas in years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I usually just go with NiP.
Yeah.
And obviously Ninjas is nice and easy, as you just showed off.
But Ninjas in Pyjamas. What a classic esports name.
Yeah, I still remember like one of the first like esports marketing things done by a team was by NiP, and it was for headsets. I forget which ones, but all the NiP players obviously showed up in pajamas for a shoot of a gaming headset. It was lovely.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It was like Spawn, who else was in it? Heaton, Potty, obviously at that time. I think Fisker and all were in the team. Yeah, it was a cool little thing to see them do. But yeah, now we're here. Now we're here 20 years later. Snappy's going to mow them all down with the MAC-10, make some money. Beautiful quad kill, nice and easy, and 2-0 for NiP.
All right, finally we're going to get that buy-in for Virtus.pro. And we're good to go. No one's got the headset off here.
I know, we made it through the whole round and everyone looks clean.
Yeah. Oh, well, we haven't seen the VP cam yet.
Cause for celebration, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, we're looking good. We're looking good as we get into round 3. Virtus.pro going to have their first buy. One kid, so keep eyes on that. It's on Icy. He's only got a scout in this round, so he wants to get the sniper out, but he doesn't have enough for the big green gun, and it's a quick main play here from Wrinkle. He's already out red. His teammate's getting tagged up by that CT scout, softened up Wrinkle into the attack. His teammates following up. They might just go through or around the left side of that sandwich smoke. Flamus is aware of that possibility. Drops jerks. Shoots the respawn 1-for-1 inside of the site. Smokes are up, keeping eyes busy as Foot tries to flee, but Shush and Wrinkle coming in with a double kill. Scout gets 1 kill from the back of the site, and now there's a chance. As Shush gets up on top, he's only got 7 bullets left. He needs to be quick, and he gets that kill on Fame, and it's all on the Scout that gets caught inside of Hell, and Wrinkle eventually taking the 3rd round win here for NiP.
Really admirable effort for VP, especially towards the end with those 2 players. You could see in that 2v2, they just by nature of how the round plays out, they work themselves into an impossible scenario. Both of them boxed in towards Heaven, both of them sitting inside of a smoke, and the ability for NiP to wrap all around and surround them. Good job from Shush being quiet in his reposition, and Icy can't get it done with that scout. So 3-0 for NiP. Remember, this is a bit of a punish pick. Virtus.pro only played Train once in the past 3 months, so NiP certainly feeling like they got the edge here, and they've got the hot start on top of it all.
Oh, well, 5-7 to the dome. Ujar's going down initially. Snappy to trade it. He's going to continue to move out, but Flit, blinded. Still alive.
What?
How has he come away with that? How has he got another one? How did they win that? Virtus.pro on pistols, suddenly in the chaos of the smokes, come out on top and get their 1st round win.
Yeah, what a scrappy round. That's just gaming for Virtus.pro. That is just everyone kind of push towards the choke point, get behind the smoke, do your best not to let them out, and those 5-7s work. That first kill is perfect. Slows down the attack, takes away the real tip of the attack, and then everyone from NiP gets blocked behind that smoke in main.
That's crazy. 5-7's so good, man.
5-7 is a spicy pistol. It certainly is.
Well, money's good now for VP all of a sudden. Got AKs picked up off the ground. AWP out. for Icy, but it's all about Wrinkle Sniper as he just charges into the B-bomb side as the front man of the attack. Fame was the only B player, and he's gone.
I don't even think you can go for this. I mean, you take that calculated risk as Wrinkle as well off that pick. You can see the way he's spotting. You know he's just got a piece of utility to drop, and there's no one else at the bomb site. So good push from Wrinkle. And now, if you're a Virtus.pro, you're feeling very stuck. Galil is going to hold that AWP pinned down over an Ivy, and the AK-47s are going to find the rifles at the end. Hugh Jerks with another. And now Icy's got to battle for his life, and he can't do it. Hard swing. And the off is recovered, and NiP in complete control.
Dude, they just kind of slightly trip, but they immediately jump back up and sprint again, because that is crazy from Wrinkle. The response is to go down into B, take that straight up fight with the AWP of all weapons. Look at this. He gets the peek. Fame just walks and hangs out in the open a little bit too long there.
It's one of those rounds, right? Like an Opera will get a few of those rounds and a half, and obviously every Opera has a different level of freedom. But I would imagine if you're Snappy and NiP, you're probably sat there and you're like, you know what? Let's give him like 2 to 3 rounds per half, where he just gets to call a play where we let him go for an aggressive pick. That's one of them. A little bit of a risk with that peek from Upper, but this time he nails the opening kill and gets a free round off the back of it, including the complete wipeout. So Virtus.pro with peanuts in the bank after this investment.
And throwing everything they've got at this. Could be a chance to respond here for VP. It's Icy to kick things off. Fame with a second kill. So VP up 5v3. No trades. In fact, it only gets better for Virtus.pro. Another kill from Icy Sniper, and that investment pays off.
Yeah, that's a great response from Virtus.pro as well, and Icy with the AWP. I don't think NiP expected them to have the AWP. I think that punish is a little bit of a surprise for the NiP offense. I don't think they expected that weapon to be in the field of play. So Icy gets a couple easy ones, and the nice thing about the AWP finding you those opening 2 picks and the M4 getting one on top of it is you get a clean round off the back of it. You can upgrade to some AK-47s, but nobody's gone down for Virtus.pro in a round where their money was on the ropes. So very nice from the CT side, and we reset into round 7.
There's Icy's pick. Great setup. Hangs around, doesn't fall back. Goes for a re-peek a little bit later into the round.
Yeah, that fight's a little bit different when it's an Opera waiting for you versus a jiggle peeking player holding a smoke, right?
True, I guess they were just like, try that again, guys.
Yeah, it was like, I dare you. Like, you probably feel really good about that fight, getting that kill so quickly. So, yeah, give it one more shot. Double dog dare.
I love that. This is one of my favorite additions to the map on the new train, is that little window in T-main.
Sure, for utility to come out.
It's pretty cool. There's a lot of creativity you can do with that. Line up, just go through it. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, observing team.
Well, there's an Ivy push from Icy, who's trying to build upon his success. One more due to that smoke is called out at Ivy. So at the moment, Snappy's got a good indication of what's happening. So he's going to work his... Oh, inside the flames. That catches Flamus off guard. And the call from Snappy's perfect. It's such a good read of the situation. To see 2 push Ivy, you know that out of defense is going to be weak. Snappy immediately calls for the pop dog play.
Oh, God,
and look at what it's rewarded them with.
That was awkward for Flick. Gets caught. Not expecting him to be so deep. So yeah, perfect call working out here for Snappy. Safe call again for VP. No one really getting anything going here. Like, consecutive round wins seem few and far between. But I think finally it looks like NiP have broken that barrier. They should be able to get next, but there is some leftover money here for VP. Yeah, if they save these 2 weapons,
especially if they can save them, the buy will be very strong. Will essentially be a full buy, and I don't think NiP, without any information of where these players are or have been, are going to be too motivated to go for any kind of a chase. So Fame should be able to keep the AK-47. Same with Electronic and his M4 over in CT spawn. No one even close to him. But a 5th round now for the Ninjas on T-side train, looking real good. What a round from Erasdos. The opening pick on the push, but then the swing into the last few seconds of the Molotov. Flamus never saw it coming.
Let's see what kind of buy VP can piece together here. This is my lord. Shot, 1 bullet.
Yeah, just a nasty 1-tap.
That's a BS round from Erasdos. He just walks into the fire in the second kill as well. He was feeling himself after that 1-tap.
Yeah, it's if you're VP, you're just like, well, what can I do? What am I supposed to do in that situation?
I see right back down to a scout again. He got a moment on the AWP. It's going outside, damage being done.
Just to show off that little window that you just mentioned you like, that is a beefy double nade to take Flit down very low. Good opening start, good chip damage for NiP. Now it's about mopping it up at the end of the day. Flit's going to take the scout with his low health, so Icy's on the M4. And Rinko's looking for anyone to slide into his vision, but no one's making that mistake in this round.
Been already a pretty good T-side from NiP. Could continue to get better and better as this half goes on. As they 5-2 up, likely to be leading 6-2 in just a moment. Here comes Snappy to try and help that out, but might go against them now of Electronic and Flamus alongside Icy. We've got 3 kills in for VP in the blink of an eye, and that 6th round just seems like a dream. Really
good sequence there from Icy, even though he smoked off the wide Molotov to prevent the swing, to kind of narrow the angle that NiP has to work with, and the spam through the smoke on top of it all. That's a perfect little piece of defense. Wrinkle does find a pick, brings it to just 4 Virtus.pro players. There's 40 seconds on the clock, but 3 players setting up a 3-man crossfire on this choke point.
Well, there's Flamus following up here for Virtus.pro, leaving just Wrinkle around the corner with 28 seconds left, starting to retreat further and further back. Not going to hang on to the sniper.
Yeah, AWP is the priority. He can drop a weapon, although they won't need it at all with the money that's going to come in for NiP. So Virtus.pro, once again, I mean, the past, 6 rounds have just been back and forth, trading wins for these two teams. VP can't win 2 in a row, but NiP not letting them build that momentum. So 5-3.
NiP not allowed to win 2 in a row.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's been a cool stretch of rounds back and forth, all starting with that 5-7 win from Virtus.pro. Good to see them hanging on, but at the moment it feels like they're just kind of hanging on by their fingertips, right? Thankfully for them, I think with the way this half has played out and with this back and forth, this is a back and forth where they have quite a decent losing bonus because they just keep winning one and then losing one. So it's just staying put at like 3 rounds of losing bonus. So they're getting a ton of money repeatedly on this CT side. And their wins have been clean.
Flamus getting the opening pick here for Virtus.pro. Jerks going down. Electronic pushing up into team aim behind that smoke. Strong position to have.
This is a really cool play from Electronic. Yeah, he's got a lot of options here. When this smoke fades, he can choose. He probably won't push immediately, but there's going to be the option at some point in this round for him to get a flank towards Ivy, a flank towards Inner if he wants it. That's going to be available to him. So he'll stand pat for the moment and wait for some information of where NiP is lined up. At the moment, with 2 players, Ivy and 2 in Pop, none of them are showing their positioning. So Virtus.pro just waiting for the next move from NiP, who are down a player. And this looks like it's just going to be a split. 2 Ivy, 2 Pop Dog, and see what you can get out at the A bomb site. AWP over in Ivy on the AWP of Wrinkle.
Under a minute left. There's Doss. Oh my god, another big kill from him. That's Flamus going down. Electronic to trade it out. Snappy wasn't ready for that, but oh my god, the timing for Electronic to peek out again, just as Shush was considering the site player. Electronic walks out, catches his head, and now VP should be taking 2 rounds in a row. It's about to be a 5-4 scoreline. They're closing this gap. There's Doss trying to make the most of it. Final 30 seconds, leaping out, and Wrinkle connecting his 1 shot. But it would be a spectacular, almost impossible clutch. He would have needed to land that millisecond shot, but couldn't connect it, so is retreating now back to safety inside of Ivy. And we are now looking at VP taking 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to give credit over to Electronic. That round is all him. It's just such a well-played round after the opening pick provided by Flamus, sliding in towards T-mid, seeing it clear, but not trying to make a play immediately. Just biding your time until you have information. And he's in the perfect place to stop that attack from getting dangerous whatsoever. With that opening kill over towards Ivy, that could have been a very tough round to handle for VP, but Electronic, with good positioning, just shuts it down. So finally, VP string 2 together. And now we can see what they can turn this half into. 4-5. Money's still there for both teams, but the last time NiP is going to be able to muster a buy if they're to lose this.
Yeah, I gotta feel pretty good for VP, who have...
Oh, they're out of money now.
It feels like, yeah, they've just been hanging in there, but they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They got some room to stretch their legs in this half, and a round 1 here, which they should be getting, will tie up the game 5-5. And to think we were in a world just mere moments ago where this could have been a 6-2 scoreline.
Yeah, it felt like NiP on this T side was really looking like they were just going to run away with things. I think really the missed opportunity is, I mean, well, it's going to sound weird, missed opportunity. I'm about to reference 3 rounds of Virtus.pro winning, but those 3 rounds that were traded back and forth was only one player from Virtus.pro died in those 3 rounds they had up to this point. So I mean, if you're NiP, you feel like you really missed some chances to keep the economy low, really missed some chances to reset them on the CT side of Train when you had a big lead that would have just ballooned things into a crazy, crazy scoreline. That's the missed opportunity right now of this half for NiP. So it turns from an opportunity where they could have just blown up this map to now having a very close affair going into halftime, regardless of who wins these final 2 rounds.
I know, it feels like VP have got the momentum to ride this out and take a lead as well. Could be 7-5 in favor of Virtus.pro's defense. First timeout of the half being used here for NiP. Wrinkle's going to have his AWP. But everybody else, all sparse on cash. So, once again, NiP not going to be able to play with everything they desire. Coach Exists getting on the mic.
Yeah, having a conversation with the boys. Look how vocal Flamas is being during this timeout as well. So talking down the line, Electronic gives a nod of approval, of affirmation. He likes what he's heard. He's signed up for the Flamas plan.
You can give him a little high five there as well.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we're rocking and rolling with.
It was on this very map. There we go. He looked for the approval after screaming. He's like, is that good?
He's like, is that okay?
Am I allowed to do that?
Well, remember too, when he joined the roster, it was like, you know, there's an energy guy coming in from OG who's like, we know he can bring that, and it seemed at the time like VP really needed a player in that capacity. Fast-paced, out team mid, trying to force themselves around the smoke. They meet the AWP of Icy.
Dude, look at this, kissing us out of the smoke. Shoosh. He gets past. He gets into the smoke. Electronic knows though. He's clocked him. Will Shoosh to be able to do anything with his teammates in fights. He actually gets away, flicks to take Utrox down. It's looking good here for VP for a 6th round victory. Snappy and Shoosh looking for the escape plan as the bomb is making its way to B. I think VP's starting to realize they might have been able to get out of there and get to that B bomb site, so they start sending the rotation back. Electronic just looking for that.
It feels now, looking at this score and going into this halftime, where I think that the conversation is about, like, you know, remember, NiP picking this map a little bit of a punish for how little it's been played by Virtus.pro once in the past 3 months. And I
we
feel
casted that one. It was back in Bucharest.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
That was the one where Electronic got mad at everyone.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah, it was on
perfect. Nice. Well, I mean, I think for Virtus.pro, you're like, okay, well, we just saw you shake the rust loose for the first 5 rounds. It was like 5-1 at one point, or like, you know, whatever it might have been. First 5 rounds, then you trade back and forth. This CT side has built up now, and now they start feeling really comfortable. All that rust has been shaken loose on Train, and now Virtus.pro is just destroying and dismantling this attack.
Well, a chance for the lead to close the half here for Virtus.pro. NiP looking to try and just get one extra out of this T side. Going to be pretty disappointing for the Ninjas at how this half started and finished. Well, not so much started. They're happy with how it started. Just the disappointment and how it finished. Could have been a stronger showing here from them. Absolutely could have been. Even a chance there towards the end of the round for Snappy. If he gets that kill in famous 1v1 fight down range. So another one missed by the Ninjas. And we get into the last round of the first half. Not a pretty fight. We got a MAC-10. Shoots on a Glock. So his role hasn't changed from heroic. He still carries all the utility. But he's got a Khalil now. Okay, he's all good.
He's all good. Snappy jiggles and gets that information on Electronic's position. Sees the defense playing close-up situation at Pop Dog, so going to be a little nervous making this run. This walk, I should say. Clearing his corners. Bomb's still lined up looking towards box halls, so they've got some options available to him. This could be a fake and a fallback to Pop Dog to attack with Snappy leading the way. I think you can see Arizdos with utility lined up towards the trash bins. It could be a fake outside into an inner hit. Let's see what Snappy's going to pull the boys into. It's a fake outside as he dedicates himself to the cause, but nothing quite yet. There's the trade inside, and now the bomb site overrun.
Now look at this play. Now Snappy turns into a lurk, and he's got a double. Great work from Snappy going into the connector. Icy trying to get back through that smoke. No way he could have moved forward. So last round of this half, and it looks like it's going to be a tied scoreline.
What a cool call for Snappy to tie things up. What a call to make. To call yourself as the fake. Really, really good positioning as you come back into it. Nicely done. Arizdos cleans up the final kill. 6-6 with a little bit of tactics thrown in the end by Snappy and NiP. He's got a big smile on his face. That's a huge lurk through the Z smoke.
Yeah, earn some exist fist bumps. So one extra round to work with for the Ninjas as we go into the second half.
But, I mean, a great recovery for Virtus.pro. Again, starting slow. And you could see them kind of shake that rust loose and that inexperience and that lack of reps on the map. You could see it kind of hinder them in the early start and the hot start from NiP. But they recovered so nicely. I think you're going to be really happy with 6 rounds, considering how that half began for Virtus.pro. You're looking down the line. You're like, boys, great recovery. We've really snapped into this. Started slow, but we're here now and we can handle this NiP team. I don't think you feel like there are any problems or any worries as you switch sides over to the T side. How it all began, but there's that lurk from Snappy. The fake turns into cutting off the post plant, the retake.
I don't see anyone, man. I end up inside con killing 2 guys.
Yeah, that fake was never gonna work. When you see him turn that corner and there's no one showing themselves from Virtus.pro's defense, you're like, oh, this is an awkward situation, but Snappy still finds a way to have
Yeah,
impact.
he pieces it together.
Pissed around live in the second half, and it's faster pace from Virtus.pro. Looking like an inner rush, and Snappy's gonna have a lot of attention.
Julies, let's go! Unleashes the beasts, but nothing. Absolutely nothing. As Shush has to step up in his stead. Fame and Shush going tit for tat, but it's still a 3v3 at that bomb. Makes his way into the site. Still stuck in heaven. In fact, there's a flank coming in. The Jewel Berettas around the backside, but it's dealt with. And that's the escape plan now. You've opened up the escape avenue, so they run right through, leaving Fame to keep the pressure on the 2B players. And that bomb is going to go down in the A site at a minimum, confirming the force buy for the second round. And Fame, he even makes it away.
Yeah, that's... Oh, it's almost like the defense was too good. They stopped Virtus.pro too cold. And Arizdos never got the information on that flank. He tries to go aggressive with it. They've turned around to look at him. Brutal start. Good one from Wrinkle. And this is pretty much an even 2-on-2. Wrinkle at 11, Electronic at 24.
Yeah, but you want Shush to move forward a little quicker than he currently is right now. He's got a lot of angles to clear, but he needs to get into the site. There you, oh my god, they line up! And he comes away with both headshots! Great work from Shush to get back into the pistol, and NiP flip it back in their favor.
As if he finds the high HP player first, the one in the back drills him, an Electronic left in the open with no... It wouldn't have mattered. A headshot, a second one for Shush. So what a great pistol round. Quad kill for Shush. Shuts down the inner attack, has to rotate all the way around towards outside, and win a 1v2 in the pistol, essentially.
And now 12-6 for Shush. He's having a great game here to kick things off. And PGL Astana. Here we go again. Yep. Of course, perfectly lines up on Fame. Just needed to shoot.
You know, we said for years that Shush and Tessas were like the unsung heroes of that heroic lineup, but you notice they're like the two having good performances after that heroic lineup. Like the Astralis project isn't really working.
Right. Tessas is the one player that was always spoken about as the player that should kick that heroic team. And now bro's like on the second best team in the world.
Yeah.
Shush not having a similar performance, but you know, maybe eventually this NiP team start to rise up the rankings.
Shush has always been tapped as like one of the underrated players that doesn't get talked about enough for how good of a job he does in the role that he plays. So it's cool seeing him at 12-6 right now and doing good work for NiP. Very slow round for Virtus.pro after losing the initial player. Just going to walk around the map, start preparing themselves for the gun rounds. Looking like NiP's poised to have 2 very strong starts in each half here on Train.
Ooh, snap. You're going to enjoy that little gap. Might draw them in. MP9 about to make some money. Nice, he goes first. Split to fall second. The rest of the B push coming in. Shush has got that covered, and it's just Electronic dueling with a deagle at range.
Yeah, no bomb as well. He's going to go down for free from the other side of the bomb site. 8-6, 2-round lead for the Ninjas.
Everybody stays alive for NiP as well in that round, so they're building the money quite quickly here on the CT side.
There's a little bit of advantage for Virtus.pro with the AK-47s against the FAMAS. However, the AWP is out for Wrinkle, which is a weapon that Virtus.pro won't have on their opening T-side gun round. And Snappy's got his MP9 still. 8-6 into this first gun round. Third series of the day over here on the B stream for PGL Astana.
Up next is Dust 2 in the series. And we'll see if we go there quickly, or VP stay in this fight. Taking their time. Fang going to be flashed into the pop peak. March his way down to the end of the corridor. There's Doss is long gone. He'll play towards the E-box.
It's a cool defense, though, with Ujurx pushed in towards T-main, and I think Virtus.pro is going to be calling that out. There's another deep smoke that just got deployed, so I think if you're Flamus, you're saying, hey, one's probably in T-main with the utility they're using. There's Dos, finds a nice timing. Paired up with his countryman to work together on this defense, working in tandem. The two of them will cover both choke points, and with that smoke over and pop, Erasdos falls back to set up Ujurx for a timing push with the MP9. I think they want to wait, obviously, for a footstep, a sound cue, but utility flying over the wall, I think, is the signal they're waiting for.
There's the flash. There goes Ujurx into the peak. It's going to be Flamus to fall. 25 seconds. Here's the swing. Ujurx getting one. Icy to trade it back. 20 seconds on the clock. VP a player down, but they need to move. And that bomb is so far away that it might just be over already. With that flank coming in, at least Fame gets the pick. But yeah, the bomb is just not near the rest of the attack, so it has to be a safe call here for VP.
Yeah, and I feel like whenever time I watch VP, I get like all like ultra critical on how they're playing, and I don't want to do that this time, but I do want to just, I mean, this is kind of the struggle of, I know I'm just going to fall right into it.
All right, so Jason, you're not going to be critical.
I'm not going to do this, except for this just once. No, but like that round is just rough because it's like Virtus.pro sort of sit around and don't really do anything, and you're about to execute an outer hit with 30 seconds on the clock, and you don't have control of T-main. Like, that's a little bit of a dream. Like, during that time, like, you have to do something to try and pressure T-main, force that player out, throw utility, and throw a Molotov, then break the smoke. You have to clear that position out if you're going to hit that execute late round. And, I mean, you can just see how disjointed it gets. Great rounds with the MP9. Double kill to stall things out. Now round 16. Virtus.pro's out T-mid. Flamus gets activated to red train early.
Yeah, Snappy's pushing into Pop Dog as well. He's going real fast on this play. He's used it a couple of times in the half already. Looking to make the most of it again. Let's see, it's a slightly different angle from Snappy where he's not detecting the early information. They have to peek him for it to be effective, and that is exactly what happens. Snappy could get a second offering here. He knows they're coming towards him. The 2 AKs gets a dink. That's going to be good enough. So he gets a kill on pretty much 90% of one.
And information. Information is the other thing, right? He plays the shadow position on the first kill. After that, he gets this dink, and he calls out 2 AK-47s, including the bomb, are here. So you're positioned, if you're NiP, with 2 defenders at this bomb site. As you know, this is the only timing they have available to him for the moment. So if they don't press this, it'll settle down. But NiP likely not going to shift too many players away from the B bomb site for the rest of this round. Set up very safely, very passively to react, to be able to control situations in these 2-man setups at each map, A and B, or at each bomb site. And now Virtus.pro makes their final play, and they don't have a lot of utility to do it.
Smoke is in a connector. Now his Dot's going to play Thomas. Here comes the peak. The FAMAS. Head down. Flash in the sky. And Shush getting blinded by it. Just to take his head down for just a second. But as he peeks it back up, it's damage done to the Heaven players. Grenade going in. Not going to take a kill, but it's damn close to it. And Shush will clean up instead with bullets. So we're looking at double figures for NiP as they're getting to the end of the line here on trade.
Yeah, Virtus.pro not even able to get into the bomb site there and get a bomb plant. They would have loved the extra bonus money. It's just not available to them whatsoever. NiP's defense looking strong to start, and Shush is continuing to have just a monster game. Nice kill from Ujurx. Flamus outside for quite a long time. Not able to find any clean fights or clean kills, but this is just Shush at the end of the day. The play from Snappy gave him all the information. Shush is positioned perfectly to handle it, and once again, we get to call his name out. He's now up to 16 kills and 6 deaths.
Yeah, it's incredible so far from Shush. The second half was 4 rounds played. All 4 have gone NiP's way. And you mentioned that lack of bomb plant for VP. Well, look at what that means for the buy, right? You're down to 1 AK for Flitic, Lil on Fame, the rest on pistols. Not a position of power here for VP by any means. NiP with a great opportunity to take 11 rounds and all 5 rounds played in the second half so far.
That's the most awkward run boost I've ever seen. I don't know about you, but that one...
Yeah, it looked like he got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, that one's kind of a record.
Don't let Yanko see you, don't you know?
Footsteps as well, so they know Electronic is wrapping around. Good kill, but he's there to sell the position of Eris Dos. However, Flit finds a kill and now traded off, and once again, NiP, no issues.
There's Jerks peeking up, and little BS as well. Yeah, there, nice little extra last bullet headshot.
I don't even think Virtus.pro has seen the bomb train on the outer bomb site quite yet in this game, in this half.
I think Flamus might have caught a glimpse of it
like
as he was running out
yeah.
and dying. But yeah, it's been a one-way street so far in this second half. NiP in full domination. And this is only the first timeout for VP. Damn, okay.
Well, I mean, they recovered nicely in that first half, right? Yeah, I mean, a little crazy. Maybe they didn't burn one during some of the rough stretch to start the map, but they recovered nicely. But just this T side is looking so flat. It's looking like there's no life. There's no creativity. There's no initiating. There's no assertiveness to it. And they better find it real quick because NiP's 2 rounds away from a map 1 victory.
Dude, if you want to win it in regulation, you have to be perfect from this point onwards. You got to win every single round left in the half. Haven't seen enough from VP on this T side to imagine that's a possibility.
Nice! 97, can you die, Flit? Thank you. Good fucking call, Mark.
97.
Snappy just having a conversation with his opponents. He's like, please just die.
Well, they're dying pretty quickly at the moment. It might just be a dead map here as NiP are very close to victory on train. VP losing the opening kill. Wrinkle on the double kill. Flit and Icy picking them both up. And we're looking at a 5v3 map point staring at us in the face.
Yeah, man, Shush is going to get all the flowers with some of the rounds he's had and the amount of times we've called his name. But Wrinkle's AWP has really started to pick up too. It's got some momentum in the second half. Now that we've switched over to the CT side, been really impactful with it. Nice double kill here. And once again, it's another triple kill. Make it. Oh, a chance to
make it a quad
kill. Go for 4.
Yeah. There's a 4th right around that corner.
Yeah, be greedy. But I mean, another round too, where you have to say Virtus.pro's T side. I mean, in fairness, it's nothing tactical. They just don't get a chance to play this round.
And this was the round. That was it. This was their half.
This was the map.
Yep. Job done.
So we're going to get an extended save from Flamus and Fame. NiP looking to take this map, as you mentioned earlier. Dust 2 is going to be the second map of this series, so we'll switch over there. Good kill from Fame at the end. It's not going to change a damn thing as Shush shuts him down before anything can begin.
Right, Dust 2, that's VP's way back into the series. It's their map pick. It was a punish pick, as we mentioned, Train here. We haven't seen VP play it all that recently at all, just one in the last 3 months. So NiP making sure that they make this in the veto. But Dust 2 should be a different story. VP going to be much more comfortable there. They're not going to have to battle a very slow start. They're actually going to have some level of comfort on the T side, you would imagine.
You would imagine, being the operative words in that sentence. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Well, 3 Galils, 2 AK-47s.
Not exactly the value you end the map on.
But who knows? This might just be the one. NiP looking to close the map with a flawless CT side. This was a 6-6 scoreline going into the second half. The pistol looked like it was on the ropes, recovered by Shush, and from that point onwards, it has been nothing but NiP round victories.
Well, NiP have their aggressive defense set up at the start with all their smokes in the choke point, but as they fade and now as they've run out of utility to cycle through, they're going to do a swap. The M4s fall back, go passive. The AWP on Wrinkle steps into Pop Dog. And he'll be able to swivel as well, but it requires those M4s to stem the tide of attacking players out T-mid.
1 for 1, at least VP able to trade back immediately on that opening kill. Not a story that has been had in the previous round, for example.
I mean, you can see the stress on Wrinkle in that position, though. It's an interesting swap of positions. And we'll hold the phone on that because Snappy is getting frisky. Taking a big risk himself, and it's not going to pay off. Great damage. Information that it's only one, that it's only a lurk, so the defense doesn't have to budge, but a kill that he definitely thought he should have had.
Yeah, well, HOTU's able to follow up here and make sure that it doesn't really matter. He's got a double kill towards teammate. Flamus getting one pick, but they're so low on health. These last two VP players are the walking wounded, and they're going to try and get out into the site. But HOTU is ready. He'll not take any of them. In fact, it's Shush. And we talked about him as the star of the show in this second half. Well, he looks to close it out, and he'll just go into the open and win it with a headshot. A 13-6 map win here for NiP in the opening game of their tournament here in Astana. And it did not look good in that second half by any means for VP. A 6-6 first half, resulting in not a single T-round. Did they even get a bomb? They did get a bomb plant in that second half, Jason. They didn't even get close to a bomb.
They've won 3 in a row. It's a G2 victory at Bucharest, 13-11, 13-8 over Liquid, 13-6 over FlyQuest, both of those out in Melbourne as well. So I mean, if you look at them, I think Virtus.pro's got to be coming into this map on a three-game win streak, feeling really confidently stepping into this server. So I think we're going to get a different Virtus.pro than we saw on map 1. We'll just have to find it all out. Electronic at the helm, looking down at notes, calling the last final tactics, the pistol round to open up Dust 2. Virtus.pro starting on the T side, NiP defending here in this initial round. And not a whole lot of utility. Decent amount for Virtus.pro, not a whole lot for NiP. And we'll see how this goes. Very calm to open things up. I think he missed the jump spot. I don't think Arizdos actually saw either of them. That information isn't going to punish NiP, though, as the smoke comes up at double doors, and now the passage to Catwalk.
Yeah, Electronic going to climb up onto the Xbox into short. He's got Flamus in behind him. And with that mid-door smoke up, they can safely cross without being detected.
Look at this defensive setup, though. Like, this is solid for a pistol round. If Arizdos hits one shot from the bomb site, takes Flamus out. Oh, excuse me, actually, Virtus.pro falling into a mid to B split. So they're pressuring both. They're showing both ideas and not letting NiP get comfortable that either one of them is coming.
No, that is going to drag Arizdos away because he has to consider the fact that he needs to be ready to go through CT spawn. But here goes 50 seconds. Here comes the final play. And it's going to be VP with a long lurk, but a short thrust into the site. It's going to be Flamus and Wrinkle going tip for tap, but Flamus stepping up and putting VP in the better position. Snappy going to check that long side. 39 seconds left. Plant being put down here for Icy.
Yeah, but Snappy made a footstep. So, I mean, they know there's one out at long. And you can see that's exactly why Flit just backs all the way off. He's like, I actually don't need this engagement. So there's nothing NiP can do with that piece of information that Snappy's at long. There's no retake available to them.
Flamus waiting. Shush. Oh, goes down. Flamus is having one hell of a pistol around here. Nice shot from HOTU. He couldn't get the second. And he's now caught in the open on the reload. So Flamus not stopping. He's got 4 in this pistol round. He's stepping up for the ace. He's coming for it. And Snappy taking body shots from the site, but it's Flamus with all 5.
Yeah, brilliant pistol round. Really well done. Extended across the map, and that's a nice piece of trickery. Eventually, we're going to see a better Virtus.pro. Look at the way Electronic's able to work the map and here on Dust 2. Get catwalk control, fall back, throw the mid to B smoke, force the rotation, and then you've already got the positioning of catwalk. And those are concepts they just don't have on train yet, is that like getting this piece of map control allows me to activate this a little bit later on, gives me this options. Here on Dust 2, they work it perfect.
They should be high-fiving you. Flamus, that was all
I know,
5.
why is he telling everyone else they did a great job? You got all 5 kills.
Someone tell him he's doing a great job. Electronic did the opening kill, so someone else from VP on the score sheet. And this is a force buy for NiP as well. They've thrown everything into this. Not the start they would have hoped for it. Losing one player and so much health here on HOTU.
Well, I don't know how much of this is confirmed or unconfirmed, but they've done great damage. You know, like, yeah, you're in a 4 and 5 and you have weaker weapons, but Icy's an easy cleanup, Electronic's an easy cleanup. Those guys can get doubled and mowed down very, very quickly. One smart play, one good positioning, and this round can unravel for VP, despite the fact they have a man advantage. So double door smoke, but you can see on the mini-map, Shush is down in tunnels, and he's going to clear out the B halls, and he's basically going to say, this smoke is all a fake, they're going long this whole time, everyone gets situated. There's one flashbang on Wrinkle. But it's all about the low HP, and if NiP can find Icy and Electronic on the cross.
Another shot for Wrinkle. Oh, Flam is putting his head down, but not aware there was a gap at the start of the smoke. Sarah's Doss now stepping up, but not going to be too sweet for him. As Fane comes in with the AK, it's Icy to battle back with the Scout. Another shot from Shush, and this round's still on for the CTs. Very much still on. You mentioned the low health on some of these VP players. Well, Flit is one of them. He's moving up into the site. 20 seconds, and oh, he's gone. Deagle to the head. It's all about Icy. And with 15 seconds left, it's got to be heroic, and he's got one shot. Needs a second. 10 seconds left. And he's got it. Icy saves the day here for VP, but it's so damn close.
Dude, after all the shots that are hit with Deagles, the fact they can't clean up Icy with 9 HP remaining is insane. Shush hits that banger over on the railing, and they just cannot find this final kill. What a time for Icy to step up. Wrinkle's able to clean up Electronic. They get everything they need. They even get an extra bonus, the cherry on top, the massive gap in that smoke from Virtus.pro. And when you saw the angle they had over the gap, you felt like this round was done. Icy bails them out, but another force buy for NiP, understanding how much damage they've done to VP.
So close to being a tied-up scoreline already. Let's see if NiP can do it. And once again, with just the M4 in the hands of Aris Doss, Scout for Wrinkle again. He's going through the motions. Flash going through the mid doors. Smoke for the CT cross. They're going to start walking in towards Shush with a minute on the clock. He'll drop the smoke and descend down to safety inside of the site. It's a very heavy A lead. The only way this round goes the way of the Ninjas at the moment is if VP go into the A side. If they go B, it does not look likely that they're going to be able to pull this off.
Well, if you can find Electronic and shut down this presence, that's going to funnel them right back up towards Catwalk. So a lot of this is on you, Jerks, to make sure. Oh, he crossed over. Electronic's going to call everyone back out, though. Footsteps are there, and now this spot gets a little bit more dangerous.
I think there's just too many numbers here. Surely that eventually they trade it out and go into the B bomb site with the heavy numbers advantages here.
I think you have to save now if you're NiP. I think the call should come in basically right now, especially as that kill comes in. If Snappy can't add another one on top, you took a big risk by force buying into this, and you might as well keep these guns and try again in the next one. Well done from Electronic and Virtus.pro leading the way, and Electronic finds the escape route, only losing fame in the process. 3-0 for Virtus.pro.
Well, at least the two weapons worth saving are in their hands. NiP with Shush now as Doss looking to hang on to it. They're out long. And we're looking at, 3-0. Great start here from VP on Dust 2.
Actually, I mean, it's not even a great start.
Yeah, well, in terms of scoreline,
but scoreline it is, but they should have lost round 2. Icy bails him out.
That's
so
true.
Give him a ton of credit for them even being in this situation. Gonna try and take some guns away right at the end. The MP9 hits the dick. It's a deck, excuse me. It does hit the dick as well.
It's a little bit of both.
It is also very early.
I like it. I think we should just use that as the new term.
Might be from now on.
Well, great start in terms of hitting the dick, Jason. That's going to be 3-0.
That look like a pro.
And NiP, it's a tough situation because obviously you understand why they would force buy. They brought us so close previously. You know, you have their money on the ropes. But you're in a situation now where you could have had your first buy, and it's always a tough pill to swallow. So we're looking at a VP likely to go 4-0 up on Dust 2. Then it's on NiP to have to come back into it, because if you remember back to train, it was VP who had the slow start and had to come back in the first half. That's an opposite story. Good start for Snappy, though. He's got the opening pick here in Electronic.
Yeah, but can you build upon it? You really need this M4 to get activated in a good place, and not a bad spot for it. Boosted up on the box. You've got Deagles as well to be just extra harassment. There's a jiggle. There's another one. I think it's been spotted out. Virtus.pro, they come right back to it with the second player, but the push has already been activated.
Okay. Nice couple of headshots here for Flit and Icy.
Look at look at just how much more calm and confident they are in their reactions and their protocols here on Dust 2. There's no panic when you see that little piece of catwalk aggression. No one tries to do something too early. They back away. They bring more bodies to the problem, and then they handle it perfectly.
Hoping that it's going to be a B player out because that's where they have their players. And the tag. But yeah, B bomb site. Looks like it's actually the option here for VP to go into a smoke on the cross.
Where do you choose to fight if you have this M4? Like, if you fight now and get like a double kill, they just run away. Like, you almost want them
20
to come
seconds,
to the
though.
doors.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want them to come closer into the site. Limited time. It's going to cost VP here Fame. Oh, he's taking his teammate down. And so there's a real chance to get into it. 10 seconds. Second headshot this time for Fame. It's onto his opponent. And that rifle gets eliminated. So, whew, low on time, but they went on elimination.
Yeah, again, no panic though, right? Like, yeah, there's 10 seconds, but no one's really feeling the sting of that. No one's really feeling the heat of the time running down. Still kind of on top of things, in control of the situation. Everyone chill, throw your Molotovs into position, and this is a nice, easy round. Good cleanup. Good recovery in a 4v5 after losing a kill like that to Snappy for free. Able to come back in a win against the weaker weapons. So NiP gonna buy right back up into round 5. But staring at that 4-round deficit at the moment, and up in the hands of Wrinkle.
Well, this is their first buy, right? They haven't had one yet on Dust 2, and we talked about Wrinkle's success on that CT side. He got the ball rolling with his AWP, but it's fast here from VP. Look at this. Up through short, up through mid. They're not slowing down.
Yeah, they heard long utility from the defense, so they want to take advantage of the lack of presence over on Catwalk.
Snappy's about to have a rude awakening.
Yeah, he is. Oh, they're so happy. That Molotov lets them know they beat the timing.
Oh, my God. It's Snappy running back into the site. Grenade going to try and go over the top.
Beefy.
It's going to be very beefy, in fact. Everybody taking damage from it in some way. Spam going down to the smoke. Snappy trying his best to slow this down and delay, but he's lost his teammates. It's all about a Snappy hero play. And he's gone. The grenade searches him out, finds him. VP have the A bomb site, and NiP have a safe call.
Yeah, but the long player died in the process of all that. Snappy does everything he could. Lovely damage, not enough kills. I thought he might have... Oh, man, that's a brutal way for this to go down. Udruk's going to bail out. Wrinkle wants the AWP, and Virtus.pro rolling on this T-side Dust 2. 5-0.
Yeah, Snappy, he's got to be frustrated that that grenade comes in. I think he plays it as well as he could have in that scenario with him losing his teammate out long. You know, he throws the defensive smoke. Molotov comes in a little bit too late. He makes the most of it with the grenade, slows them down. If Snappy even gets a second kill out of that, maybe you think about a 3v3 retake where there's a lot of nade damage potential.
But, I mean, you have to say, though, there's been 2 rounds now, because we just, you know, it was just pretty critical of the calling and the way that it looked on train. You've talked about some positives for Virtus.pro. 2 rounds now where they've had really good understanding of what to do to win the round. They had the one where they kind of throw the mid to B smoke, they force the rotation, and then kind of go back towards Catwalk where the rotation has just come from. Now, again, you kind of notice the lean, the utility towards long A. You get a lot of space up Catwalk very early on, and you have the whole round to play with where you can pressure the A-bomb site at will. And despite the fact that Snappy does an incredible job on the defense with utility damage, with the smoke to delay, with forcing them to go into awkward fights, NiP still can't win it. Virtus.pro is just playing real strong at the moment. And a timeout taken by NiP as that dwindles and comes to a close. Their final conversations. Wrinkle back on the AWP. They've got another full buy. They've got kits and utility. Everything they could need.
Still in search of the first round victory here on Dust 2 for the Ninjas in Pyjamas.
I think if this round doesn't work out for them, I think maybe in the future you might want to try being more disruptive if you're NiP, if you have that in your playbook. Some of the lower dark pushes, some of the pushes towards upper mid. Any of these pieces of aggression that we see popular on Dust 2, even if it's just Wrinkle with the AWP, taking like just going for like an aggressive play to get one quick shot and back away. Do something that takes Virtus.pro out of this rhythm that they're in at the moment. Because, I mean, these protocols of doubling up and lower, clearing up Catwalk, forcing it back, getting mid control, having mid presence, it's been very effective, and NiP haven't done anything to stop it just yet.
Electronic makes it in behind the Xbox. Wrinkle looking to take him out. Smoke's going to come in and sever his vision. And Wrinkle does not fall for the baiting out of the shot. Does not take it on that flashbang.
No, but how long does he want to stay on this side of the map? They've got a 3-man lean towards the B bomb site. They're really respecting the mid to B split or the B pop, the B explosion. And actually, if you look at the mini-map, it feels like they might have the right call to it. Op shifts towards the back of platform, which is going to allow the riflers more mobility to double up on defense outside of mid, which is where most of the forces from Virtus.pro are heading, led by Electronic.
He's marched his way out through the mid doors. We got Ujorks and Shush in a really powerful double setup here. One on the lower angle. Ujork's going to be so successful. He takes a double and he doesn't go down. He doesn't fall.
No.
Snappy's gone down here for NiP, but that's the only play with 20 seconds left. VP making the acceleration up through short, trying to get into that A bomb site, but look who's waiting for them. Ours DOS flies in wait, and he's got the double to close out the round here, and Icy left with 3 HP.
Really good shift up, I think, from I mean, obviously for NiP, the op and the B bomb site, the 2 rifles getting out towards mid. I mean, even the flashbang from Virtus.pro is perfect. But it's all the fact that Ujorks gets his double kill. Shush is completely blind, has no chance of helping him out. And that might have been a little bit ambitious for VP to hit another mid to B split that's been so successful in just these. I think that's maybe the 3rd or 4th one they've tried in these first 7 rounds. And this time NiP's just like, you know what? Late round, we're setting up for that. We're making sure we don't lose to that again. And it's perfectly played. First round on the board for NiP.
Here's NC, looking through the mid doors, and it's going to work out. So, boosted on his teammate's head, wins that ult battle versus Wrinkle down middle, and an IP have to play with a deficit straight away. Door smoke in, Ujork's going to spot that out. Can't do much about it, has to accept it. And Flamus moving towards the flames.
Virtus.pro looking for those aggressive plays I was alluding to a couple rounds back, waiting for NiP to switch things up to get more aggressive to try and catch him off guard, but still going through the protocols and utility. Snappy alone, not only at long, but at the entire A bomb site. He's the only one home. NiP feel like they've shown enough weakness defending the mid to B split. One strong victory isn't enough. And once again, they might have the right read of the situation.
Well, 55 seconds. Here goes Ujorks from the window. Not going to be able to take too much down. Flash going out over the top of the door. He'll go for the peek into the open, but Electronic with that headshot cuts open the big bomb site. Now Shush under a lot of pressure, and Icy is the man to make sure that he's gone. So Aristos forced into the open, Flames into the fight. Icy on the second. Fighting fire with ice. Has worked out well here for VP.
And I mean, that one's a gut punch if you're the Ninjas. Once again, you're just like, you know, we're going to call the bluff and we're going to think you do another mid to B split back to back. And we're going to stack this bomb site up again with 3 players, except this time they don't get the same success. 3 players and I think only 1 kill on that defense, and Virtus.pro just decimate them. Running away with Dust 2. 6-1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, starting to see a world in which Ancient is coming up pretty soon. We expected VP to be much better on this map, and that's exactly what we're seeing from them. A team that won 0 T-runs. They didn't get a bomb plant on the T side of Train, has come out and are now leading 6-1 on the T side early. Wrinkle went down early in the previous round. He was the first to go down, and oh my god, he gets away with it. Nice flick back. His teammate's gone, but Wrinkle making sure it's a quick trade. Here comes Aristos around the backside. They're going to run up. They're going to be quick about this on VP side, but they might just barrel back into what would have been an MP9. He tried to get the AK out, but Flick catches him in that quick switch moment. So Shush trying to step up, trying to be the hero, but he gets caught in an awkward position, and it's all Wrinkle. A second shot, a second kill, and they'll run back into the B bomb site, hopping out of the window to the back of the platform, but VP realized they don't need to rush into anything.
Yeah, I think you just go up catwalk and just say, screw the op. We don't need to mess with it whatsoever. So they'll leave a lurk, and that even seems like a little bit much. Snappy's going to be alone in a 1v2, gets himself over the corner. Oh, they don't expect it, but the fight's there anyways. Gets a little bit of damage, and now Electronic's there to make sure that Wrinkle can't get close, and it's another round win from Virtus.pro, 7-1. And you can start to feel now that NiP realized this map has completely slipped out of their grasp. Now you're starting to see the individuals try and make plays, trying to make a very fast play, hit a timing, get a flank that's going to get you a triple kill. Everyone's looking for the round-winning play.
He's killing everybody. Yeah, he really was trying to get that going on the AWP solo at the start of the round, right? And Wrinkle was sprinting back to B, thinking it's going to be a VP rush into that site. He does so much in the round, some great shots from him. It's just unfortunate it doesn't lead to anything for his squad. 7-1.
I mean, you can also just, I mean, this is going to be the case on probably any map in the pool, but if you look at the Dust 2, the recent matches played by NiP, you can get a sense of...
No way.
He loses the AWP as well. Oh, right at the end. That's a rough find. That one sucks if you're Wrinkle. But if you look at some of the recent competition from NiP, you can just see the kind of like the competition they're going up against. It's been a little bit haggard. Win over NRG back at Fragadelphia, Las Vegas. Same with Game Hunters, a Brazilian squad. TNL, Metasport, Jano, Wild Lotus. These are the teams they're playing against on Dust 2 at the moment. So yeah, they've got some wins and their percentage isn't bad at all, but the quality of the competition and the kind of reps they're getting in official matches isn't quite the same.
2 years ago, Snappy was flying out to Dallas in the US to get a trophy win.
His first trophy.
Yeah, his first tier 1 trophy.
First career S-tier trophy.
This year he's flying out to Fragadelphia, Vegas to get some VRS points.
North America does good work for him, right?
Yeah,
He's
it gets him back in the game. He's saving his career at the moment. We'll see how it goes a little bit down the line. But we got Flip making his way through middle. It's a double kill on the AK-47. Snappy to quickly nip it behind him, but there's no round here. It'll be 8-1 for VP.
We should just get Snappy to move here. He could captain a North American team. We need some in-game leaders here. We need some experience.
Actually, eventually.
We need some teachers. Some people are going to pass the knowledge of Counter-Strike on. So Snappy, load up the kids, load up the family. We've got Disney World.
Yeah,
come on over.
A couple of them actually.
We got a few of them. Yeah, we got Universal Studios as well.
Yeah, there's a new one opening up in Florida too. So if you want to live there,
exactly, it's going to be crazy.
Get all the alligators.
Yeah, alligators are cool.
You get ready. You could experience the real version of GTA 6.
Yeah,
yeah.
Florida people in Florida are nice. Definitely not weird.
You could be weird and nice.
True.
That can be a thing. But I think, yeah, it's kind of like in football or soccer, Jason.
Yeah.
A lot of like the great European players will move to North America when their career is kind of over in Europe.
That's what we should, yeah. We maybe should just start really billing ourselves as the European retirement ground. Come on over, get a couple last contracts.
It would work, you know. They did it with David Beckham, now Messi, you know, and it could happen, Jason. It could be the way. Business model being teed up.
Yeah, it's been proven. That's a good shot from Wrinkle, but not able to build anything on it. I mean, much like T-side nuke on train, or I mean, excuse me, T-side train, NiP on the CT side feels like they don't even have a chance. Like they're not even getting close.
Oh, here goes our there goes Aristos.
And here he
and he's
done.
Yeah, he's not had a round there. He's had a bit of a nightmare, in fact. So we're looking at a great advantage here for VP. Gap. Ooh, Wrinkle didn't see him. We did. Thank you, X-Ray. Fame gets into the pit. Powerful position to have this early into the round, especially with a player advantage. He talked about NiP starting to feel like these individuals need to take risks, need to try and be the hero. One of those is certainly Wrinkle. Gonna play at the car, and he's gonna get away with one here on Pyjamas. He knows the player's in the pit. It's a difficult shot to land on just the head, peering over the top, so couldn't connect it as we go under 1 minute on the clock.
Good defense as well from the bomb side. Just a quick peek from the M4. It's risky, but a couple tags bring the HP down very low for Fame over in pit. Wrinkle's going to shift around the smoke, finds the escape route, and he's out. So now Electronic going to try and open up Plan B.
Oh, and Shush is going to make sure that Plan B is ineffective. Could this be a round victory for NiP as Wrinkle able to get a follow-up? Fame to go down, and really should be no world in which NiP let this go in the final 30 seconds of the round. The bomb's all the way back at spawn, so 2 rounds for NiP. They got to make this half 8-4.
But you go for it, right? You go for it if you're icy. Like, I know there's only 17 seconds. It seems insane, but you got all the money in the world.
No, he called it off.
Okay. Oh, well, all right. We'll save.
So I think, yeah, it feels like NiP have to win all of the remaining rounds in this half to make it feel good.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think they need to go on a huge run here just to get this as close as possible. You're exactly, and put them within some kind of situation where the pistol round can bring things closer. But I mean, I think with what we've seen from NiP, it's not even really worth entertaining that just yet. We have to see if they can do it. I think defensively, they haven't shown that they have enough to stop Virtus.pro time and time again. In fact, they're kind of lucky, maybe not lucky to get away with this round, but Virtus.pro once again got what they needed. The entry out towards long from Fame. You had the AWPer pinned down over towards Car and not able to capitalize on those moments, but Virtus.pro's putting themselves in those situations repeatedly. So a little bit of a sigh from Snappy as he's just thankful to get a second round on the board. We've got a timeout from VP. as they want to talk over, yeah. NiP's looking to win every round to close out this half, but let's keep our foot on the throat and not let them back into Dust 2.
Well, Mac 10 for Fame suggests maybe we're going to get a quicker opening to the round. Because he definitely had enough to get an AK out. And yeah, look at that spawn. It's a heavy B. So Flitter go down mid. The rest of VP charging into the B bomb site. Shush has got to step up here. Good opening kill. Goes to the back of the pillar to peek into the open again. He's under a lot of pressure, but he's handling it well. He's got Udrux to come in, but Udrux getting traded after his 1 kill of the round. But Shush just staying alive is massive, and his teammates are taking kills. And Shush, he's taking names. He's got himself the final here as well. Electronic put in the body bag, and we've got another round here for NiP.
Yep, there you go. Shush again, just like Train, stepping it up. So it gives him a little bit of energy with that kind of a triple kill and that kind of hold on to the bomb site. And finally, 2 rounds strung together for NiP here on Dust 2. So let's see if they can create something from it. But this is what you need when you're getting battered and beat down like this, is one of your players to step up, have a huge performance that can change the nature of the map. I don't know if that was enough, but again, we said their only chance was winning the last remaining rounds of this CT side. They're 1 round away from doing that, and this time, Wrinkle slides in to win the fight.
Yeah, able to get it, and now there's a quick long response from VP trying to chase down that long defender, and it's going to work. Snappy's gone. So the trade's at least there. Wrinkle coming back to try and plug the gap, and he'll detect that no one from VP is following up on that kill yet.
Snappy not able to hustle and get into cover in time. Now we've got one at the car, tucked himself down. Small target, hiding behind the windows. Ujurk's waiting for his moment to pop up, and it might be now.
Oh, here comes the rifle. Ujurk's low HP right in front of him. Can use that smoke. He can try and delay them, cut them off. Grenade going out as well. He steps back away from the flames. It won't burn him to a crisp. He'll maintain his position at the car as Flit tries to construct a kill out of this AWP, but damage being done to the CTs around that smoke. Electronic with a follow-up kill. Utrecht's waiting, dropping back into a CT, gets caught.
Just had to have that AK-47.
Yeah, he needed it.
He couldn't play the game without that AK. He had to have it. He needed it, and now he's gone down, and it's Erasdos, the last one left, and he tucks himself behind the boxes.
Well, he's still got his teammate Shush. He's still got Shush rotating in through CT spawn, and Erasdos is the only player that can really make the magic happen to kick things off. So he frees up his teammate. Flash going into the sky. Last round of the half as NiP desperately search for an essential 4th round victory. Oh my god, he actually cleared the smoke. He just spammed the smoke and caught Flamus in it. Defuse being stuck inside of the smoke. It's done. It's cooked. It completely overcooked. And it's a 4th round here for NiP. They do secure it at the end of the half. It was a little touch and go throughout that final round, but in the end, it's the Ninjas.
Yeah, finally a little bit of excitement in one of those rounds. I mean, yeah, that's a wild one to win at the end of the day, but NiP do enough to get the 3 rounds straight to get themselves to 4. So yeah, I mean, that's an ugly half from NiP. I think looking back on that, they're like, we probably have plenty that we can look at and research and kind of change and adapt to actually do better, but a really good recovery at the end of the half to give themselves a fighting chance.
Yeah, an essential recovery, because that felt done. I mean, if they even get 3 rounds, it feels like VP have got it, but it feels like a pistol round here, and we could very easily see NiP close this gap down.
Yeah, you win that, and you're within striking distance out of the gate. So gonna be very interesting. Virtus.pro have probably a relatively intense pistol round, because I think for 9 of those 12 rounds in the first half, they felt like they were in complete control. Felt like they had no issues, like there was nothing NiP could do, and that's changed right here at the end. 3 in a row for NiP to close out the half, and all of a sudden it feels like they might have a little bit of life left in them after all.
I did just read something from the chat that made me internally chuckle.
Yeah.
Sweet Ricers.
Sweet Ricers.
Dude, that'd be kind of cool. Like, Erasdos, he has his community, like his fans, he calls them Sweet Ricers.
His stream, all of his stream viewers.
Sweet Ricers, yeah.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Well, I need a sweet pistol round win here to try and close this gap down quickly if NiP have dreams of a 2-0 victory. VP wanted to get back to winning ways after losing the last couple of rounds of the first half.
Smoke is faded as they make their jump up the Xbox over towards Catwalk. Icy with that flashbang takes his time. 5 bullets, but didn't want to stick around for the fight. He's got another one here.
Ooh, flash is so good, and Icy not able to make the most of it.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta like the setup. I mean, he's got 2 pop flashes that worked perfectly against NiP to set himself up to grab a kill. Obviously, he just misses the shots. Smoke flash remaining for Snappy for NiP's pistol round, and it feels like they're committed to a catwalk play. Virtus.pro did something very similar, but they fell back and faked the mid to B split. That element's not here for this attack.
Well, flash into the sky. Icy. Can he do anything with this? He can. So it's another headshot. Going away the CT side here. Icy keeping it clean. A second kill, but his teammate's not able to do anything. And so Icy eventually goes down, joins the rest of his teammates, and we've got a 3v2. And the retake looks impossible thanks to that kill from Wrinkle through the CT smoke. So it's a quick pistol round victory in the end once Wrinkle steps up with a triple. And NiP absolutely back here in Dust 2. They went missing for so much of this second map.
I know, that's going to be frustrating, but I'll tell you what, if they win it, I guarantee you Snappy mentions it in the post-game interview. Be like, the fact that we recovered from falling asleep throughout the entirety of the first half, he's going to be very proud of that if it's to come to fruition. Got to give some credit over to Shush as well. He showed us that excellent anchoring in the first half. You know, when he had the opportunity at that B bomb site towards the end of things. But now he's got a very good flank. The entire defense on this pistol falls back to the bomb site to handle the catwalk attack, and Shush just comes out on this long flank. After a certain amount of time, he's like, "Oh, everyone's fighting. I'll come take my opportunity." Finds Flamus, opens up the site, pistol for NiP, and now we just mentioned within striking distance.
And while the scout out for Icy, we know that he can land some critical shots, be followed up by some of the weaker guns. Seen it previously in the series already. NiP realize what they're potentially up against here, so they keep it slow, not rushing into anything with heavy numbers.
You can see though too, like they're Virtus.pro just as susceptible to these postures of the mid to B smoke. They've got 3 players at the B bomb site already, but obviously catwalk and the A site is going to be weakened and diminished, especially with the scout in play. And all Virtus.pro's hoping at the moment, Icy and Flamus are just like, we have the utility, let's posture and defend enough to force them towards the stack. We don't have to win any fights at the A site. We have to be intimidating enough that they choose to go B, and it's exactly what's happened.
Well, 3-man setup inside the B bomb side, flit through the window, pinned to the wall. Udrik's opening up, and here come NiP attacking in. Molotov to the back of the car, electronic burned into the open. Oh my god, he got a second. Is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough to keep his team alive with a dream in this round? Oh, no way. Why have you done that? Oh, Wrinkle has to save it now. AK-47, his teammates giving it away. And Wrinkle has to save the day. VP have time. They have 1 flash, 1 smoke. And they come through the window. Wrinkle not clean on the first kill. In fact, he doesn't pick it up at all. And so they're into the site. Wrinkle on the headshot, and he can't get it. Icy comes in, sweeping him away, runs around and finds the defuse. And that is a blunder and a half on the peak at window that has cost them a crucial round win here on their path to closing this gap.
Yeah, Snappy might just be banging his forehead against the desk right now. That peak is, that's one of those peaks that's like, as anyone who plays the game can understand how that peak happens, but it's unforgivable. It cannot happen in this 2v2. There is no reason for that kind of a peak. This bomb site is so strong in the post plant. You give up that play and put Wrinkle in a 1v2, and you got to immediately feel like you've messed up. What a big win for Virtus.pro. A gift given over in the mistake.
Oh, it's going to be such a frustrating round for NiP.
It's frustrating for me. I'm not even on the team.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody can sit home and understand that. Well, NiP, not the start to the round that they would have liked either. You know, Wrinkle going down early doors has given VP a great advantage to work with here in round 15.
Yeah, this is an investment from NiP. They feel like that's the opportunity that slipped away, but they can't relinquish it completely at this point. They feel like it's the best hope for them to win this is to respond immediately. Oh, but it's such a desperate situation. AK-47 in the hands of Aras. He's got that supporting up on Catwalk. He's hoping for a mid-peak that's never coming.
Oh!
Damn.
That is one way to pull one of the kills back. He spots out the long flank coming in and bang! Straight away to the head. Shush reads it.
Guys, I've got a good flank. I've turned the corner and long. They're all in the middle. I'm going to flank. I'm going to get 2 kills. Just give me a sec. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's just banged out at long range. No problem for Shush to get that deagle kill. We'll see if they're able to still win this round, though. As they charge forward into the open, it's Fame going 1-for-1 with Aras in the mid-fight. Flit stepping up inside of the smoke, comes right through it. Aras gone. Ujerks bangs one back in the deagle, but the bomb is down in the open. And with that bomb being down, Snappy has an impossible clutch.
No, he's got a scout. He can do this. All right.
They kind of lined up.
Yeah, they did line up. If he pulled the trigger.
10-5 though. And for NiP, you can forgive the peek at the window if you win the follow-up round. But now you're really staring at him now. You're like,
you know what?
Hey, we're here because of you.
You're really scraping the barrel there, Dinko. You cannot forgive that peek. You forgive that peek and it's going to happen again. That one is unforgivable. I'm not going to say it's the reason why they lost this map, but it's the reason I think why this comeback falls flat way earlier than it had to.
You can say it's not the reason that they lost, it's the reason they didn't win, though.
Sure. Well, just a field day now for Icy with this scout. He's got the confidence. He knows what he's going up against, so just kind of warming up.
I see another 2 picks inside of mid. They just walk right into him, so easily collecting them. Flick cleans out top mid, so 11-5. Virtus.pro pretty much at the end of Dust 2 here. One last buy in the NiP squad. And then we go to Ancient, unless they're able to pull back a miraculous comeback.
(19-5) for Icy here on map 2, 15-8 for Flit. Those two guys, the powerhouse of Virtus.pro. 16 kills on Wrinkle in a hard carry effort here on Dust 2. That's not going well, but this time NiP, they line up with something simple. No default, no spreading around the map. All 5 players in upper dark. They're going to hit a contact, a timing into the B bomb site. It's Wrinkle to chuck out utility. And he'll come in late for the clutch. They just have to get past Fame's MP9.
Here they come, charging in. He knows how many numbers are here. Can he do anything about it, though? The answer to that is no. In fact, it is 2 clean entries from NiP.
That was always going to be tough when you just saw how the teams lined up out of spawn. When you saw the MP9 there alone and the idea of Snappy and NiP just to pop into this B bomb site, that was always going to be a very difficult round with just an MP9. So Virtus.pro save. It's a clean win. It's an easy win and an easy call. NiP's up to 6.
Yeah, still a very difficult comeback here from NiP. One that seems almost impossible. But that's at least a step in the right direction.
Going to be a fun event, a very long event. And if you guys are just tuning in, obviously with PGL, it's we've had a lot of different events. We've had Blast event, we've had ESL event. The PGL runs the Swiss system, so
the best system.
It's, yeah, the best of 3 Swiss system. So obviously 3 wins and you're through, 3 losses and you're out. We all know it. We've all seen it a million times. So no crazy consequences for either of these 2 teams in terms of their event just kind of being done with. But obviously taking a rough loss on day 1 is never ideal to start the tournament. 5 rounds separating these two teams going into round 18. Virtus.pro at 11, NiP at 6. They've got AK-47s and a couple of Galils, and it's very fast out towards long. Look at all the flames. U-Jerks can go nowhere. No safety, and 2 opening kills for VP.
Yeah, that's a huge step into map point. It would take a miraculous recovery of round 18 for NiP to even get into a competitive position here. And they're going to send 2 players up short, leaving a mid-lurk. And mid-lurk is Shush. And he's caught by Electronic. He'll look down towards CT spawn. So the final thrust of the attack is through short. And it might not be much of a thrust at all.
Yeah, I think this is, it's gotten to the point where I think you can see these last 2 rounds, Snappy's trying to get a little bit creative during this stretch with those calls, change things up from the spread default and catch his opposition off a little bit off guard while their money is rough, while they don't have all the weapons they would want, while they don't have all the utility they want, trying to be creative and getting into these bomb sites. Just not working. So down the stretch, it feels like NiP's run out of steam on Dust 2.
Well, Snappy unable to win the fight at short. And Aristos caught looking in so many different directions, being shot at from multiple different players, and we see VP go to map point on Dust 2.
Yeah, 6 chances to close it out, take us to Ancient as that 3rd and decider. It's looking very, very likely at the moment. So VP flat on Train, but great on Dust 2, and swap that for NiP, who are great on Train, and now flat on Dust 2. Very slow start.
Well, perhaps we'll have a middle ground on Ancient then.
Yeah, it feels like we should. We deserve it, I think.
Yeah, we all do. It's been quite a fast series so far, I think, these first 2 maps. It's been dominant halves.
Yeah, both map picks just really strong for the other team, and I mean you see that in kind of teams of this caliber that have been kind of gunning to and struggling to break back into the top 10 of Counter-Strike map pools, kind of a question. And obviously both these teams showing some strengths and some weaknesses in this series thus far on the 2 maps we've played. Flamus with the opening and the Molotov adding on top on a Wrinkle. Double Molly, so anywhere NiP want to run to, the safety of the blue bin is just not available.
No, Fame with the utility in hand, ready to deploy into the tunnel. He's going to get himself back around that corner. Starting to drift a couple of players through lower tunnels. Shush joining at the Xbox. And the closest player to them is Electronic, just around the back of his doors. He's going to just try and listen out for some sound cues, some information you can pick up. You can hear the steps just behind the Xbox. Waiting for them to come through the doors, but are they? Are they going to come through? Electronic forced into the open with the flames. Oh, it's awkward, but he gets away. And now he's looking to hunt down Shush, but Shush able to come out on top. And what is that? Second shot as he flicks out, opens up a chance to the B bomb site. Fame looking to close it. Looking to close the map. As Aristos waits. He comes out of the tunnels. Fame is looking right there. Aristos trying to draw his attention. 40 seconds on the clock. The bomb still waits in middle.
Yeah, but Fame this whole time can be getting split. He almost has to be a little bit aggressive towards the tunnels because he realizes mid's kind of an issue. There's another smoke up. He doesn't have a teammate to slow them down. This is all on Fame. An extended, essentially 1 versus 4, it feels.
Let's see if we can pick it up. And oh, Fame, he shuts them down and then gets traded out eventually by U-Jerks. And it's not really looking like it's going to be enough. His teammate's so far away. So even with all the effort, even with all that output, it's not enough to put VP in a position to close out the map here and now.
I don't think there are any good decisions for Flamus and Icy to be able to rotate over to actually support and help him in any way. But I think if you're Fame, you're just like kind of looking around when you die and you're like, what the hell? I had to play that whole round alone?
Yeah.
Like,
it felt like so long he was on his own as well.
He's like, I'm getting split and I'm doing it all by myself.
Yeah, the decision was just either you go absolutely huge and we win the map, or we save these 2 weapons on the other side.
I mean, you got to give credit over to NiP. It's awesome to see them apply pressure in that way to someone like Fame, and eventually just like realizing how strong of a position you're in. You don't have to press the issue, replenish the mid to B smoke, let Fame panic, let him get aggressive, let him make a mistake eventually, and they come out on top. But once again, it's Shush.
Dude,
these 2 kills in middle are incredible.
Yeah, that second one especially. something special. Here's the first kill, it's fine. This, woo! Flick gets caught off by that.
Yeah. Really making sure that sinks in. Really making sure they get the message.
Double up setup here for VP. Is that the key to unlock Ancient? Oh!
Damn. All right.
Okay.
Well, the chains have been taken off. Snappy's just been like, all right, everyone show me the reason why we picked you up. Shush gave him last round. Wrinkles gave him a nice pick here. 5-on-4 for NiP.
Did NiP bring those back? I am gonna lose my mind, Jason.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet, Dinko. Give us some time.
That's what I'm saying it now. Getting in early.
We're getting in early, buying the dip. Oh, baby. That's Icy with the ult posted up has gone down. Electronic has to give up the site, so Flamus is left alone, and now frustration setting in.
Just knocking on the door. But it won't open yet.
All right, well, now that you've said that, now that you've opened up the comeback conversation.
All right, yeah.
There's going to be 4 rounds remaining at 8-12. VP's out of money. We saw those camera shots as players going down and dying, getting a little bit frustrated. And I think that's what you have to hold off. You've played this map and you've played this so well up until this point. It is not the time for panic if you're VP. So you save this next round. You've got money for an op moving forward.
So you're telling me there's a chance,
You're
Jason?
telling me that 1 in a million, baby.
Well, so far, taking the right steps. Shush is starting to level up in the second half.
Yeah, but it's weird too, because like we see Shush a lot in like more like lurky late roundy positions, but it feels like, oh, there we go, Icy. He's got it back. Good peek in. Him and Wrinkle have had that battle, what, 3 times? I think twice it's turned in the favor of Icy.
He's not stopping. He's going for the second pick. If he flicks here, it's going to be a special shot. Okay, Icy. That should be it now. He's got 2 kills to open things up. VP, if Icy can do something else around these pistols, maybe they can close the map here and now. He's actually got a chance for a 3rd kill. Oh my god, he's got the 3rd kill. 1 player with the AWP might be enough for VP to close out this map.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd go for the hero up in this round, to be honest with you, because I didn't think you could get even anything worthwhile around it. But the fact that Icy has just busted this out, and why not? He was 19-6 coming into it, but it's not done yet. Into a 2-on-2 we go. Outside of those ops, there's been nothing. Now an AK recovered for fame. And the tough thing for NiP is getting the bomb to the site with such a long amount of time for Virtus.pro to figure out how to work this.
George is so low. He is so incredibly low in health here.
But he's got this information, right? You're telling Shush, hey bro, and he's got a smoke.
Dude, he crosses. Oh, the missed shot. Icy had a chance, but unable to take it. Now the plant coming in for the short post-plant position, but the long flight coming in. It's quick from fame.
But it was already heard this whole way. Shush knows.
But will he win the fight? Will he win the fight when he decides to take it? Jerk's waiting. Here comes Icy. Missed shot. Time ticking. Long fight goes the way of NiP, and that's it. Icy can't win it. Despite 3 kills to kick things off, not enough done for the rest of his teammates on those little pistols. It's a valiant attempt, and the safe call is not bad. But we are looking at a 9th round for NiP, barely won.
What a big save. Oh, and they take the AWP out at the end. That's actually the worst thing that could have happened, is even losing the AWP, because next round they could have bought around that AWP in this next round. That peek, not necessary. A couple ill-advised peek from players are going to have big implications in this map. But you know, Icy bailed them out in that round 2 in the first half when they should have lost the second round. And now you've got NiP doing the same thing where you should have lost this. Icy gets the first 3 kills of this round. You're playing 2 versus 5 and you bring it all the way back. So NiP's still alive, and it's the full buy from Virtus.pro, but without that AWP, it's only a scout on Icy.
Nothing too crazy this round. Nice and slow. Settling into it. Long peek being set up here with flashes for Flamis. Just clear the blue pin with a grenade combo. And in fact, it's all clear at long. It's all chill. As we go 1 minute on the clock, NiP still taking their time, putting themselves in power positions of short. Climbing up on the Xbox, being quiet about this. But 45 seconds. Is this where we see Dust 2 come to a close?
I think now there's almost like that pressure of NiP realizing it's actually possible. We saw the leashes come off. We saw individuals challenge. Well, Snappy's trying to change the style again. He's pulled the leashes right back on. They saw that jump up, but can't stop it. Smoke broken. 2 kills.
Yeah, 2 kills. That might just be enough now. Dust 2 waits in the brink. And no scope from Wrinkle. Shush fighting back. NiP staying in this again.
Nobody peek. Nobody peek. Nobody peek. Get in the bomb site. Don't peek window. Don't even think about peeking the double doors. Just get into a good position. Set up a crossfire.
Play the 2v2. And Shush, he knows. He's not the kind of player to walk through that window. But will he catch the timing on when his opponent decides to walk through? Flamis teeing himself up, ready to go forward. Shush to let them fly. First contact made. Shush underneath. Second. Oh, just around that corner. And Icy's bailing out. He's not going to win this one. And NiP get up to 10 rounds, a closely contested round, down to the final few moments, but it's NiP that come out on top of it, and we are now 2 rounds back from getting into overtime.
Bro, now if you're VP, you're just like, it's happening again. Why can't we just win? Why can't we just close this out? This was 12-6. Now 4 in a row for NiP to bring this back within striking distance, and you have just struggled to win this round. What a good one from NiP with that mid to B split. The exchange, a little bit of a brawl as the smoke is broken open, but NiP come out on top. Even with pressure, 2 players behind the smoke. You have a third coming to join up as well. And NiP still able to come out on top of the trade. So it's the saved op from Icy and pistols around it. But we saw what this hero AWP can do. Just a couple rounds back, Icy opened it up with 3 with the only weapon for Virtus.pro. They went on to lose the round, but the impact is there, and he's got 23 kills in the map.
One play to defend. Flamis with a 5-7. Surely you don't let it go on the 5-7. A kill and a dink. Not bad at all from Flamis.
Yeah, but that's a big piece he's taken down. Shush, who's not only got 20 kills and been great for fragging, but his decisions and the way he goes for the frags and the impact he's been able to get with those frags has been huge. You're missing players who have been able to find impact if you're NiP now that Shush has gone down. And you jerks, brought to just 6 health, has to take the op and play passively against his nature.
45 seconds is all they've got. And NiP going to be going heavily committed towards long. Flit on top of his teammate's head, not seeing the cross of Snappy, not spotting Wrinkle now getting in the mix. The bomb has made it to the site. Flit not looking the right direction, and Aristos knows as soon as he sees that boost, there's a second player in the same position. Icy needed a hero moment, and it's only 1 from the sniper.
Yeah, Wrinkle needed to hit an instant headshot, and he exactly did as he crouches into it. Well done.
1 round left in regulation.
Incredible. And this is a map where Snappy has 4 kills, but I'll tell you what, it's easy to look at that and laugh a little bit, but the calling he's had and the fact that he's bringing his team back from 6 to 12, not many IGLs can do that. This is a great comeback for NiP, this Snappy-led team.
Told you, Jason, buy the dip.
You did. Yeah.
Buy the dip.
Yeah, you did. I'd buy it. And you also called the comeback, Dinko. You've had a spectacular afternoon or morning or day, whatever it is.
It's somewhere everywhere in the world, really.
So Fame looking for an exit, just 1 kill at the end of the round, anything he can get. But it all comes down to round 24.
Terrorists win.
I cannot believe we've gotten to this position. 12-6 to 12-11.
If VP can close it here, and Fame takes that first step. Flash into the sky. Surely there's no way the double F combo Making F's in chat for NiP. It's another kill from Fame. It's a 2v2 all of a sudden. Oh my god, no! Not like this! NiP all the way to the brink. But it's their savior in Shush, who needs to win this in a 1v2. We talk so much about how good he's been, how impactful he's been. No round more important than this one on Dust 2, and they walk right into him, and it's Fame to come out on top of it. VP stopped the full comeback right at the end. A 13-11 win on Dust 2, and we got Ancient because of that.
As if that's the way it ends. That's got to be heartbreaking and gut-wrenching for NiP, but they don't have time to focus on that. 5 rounds in a row to bring it to 12-11 and failing at the final hurdle. It's got to be just so deflating, Dust 2, even in a loss.
Well, we get into the final map here of Ancient. NiP versus Virtus.pro underway. Electronic going to have a decent amount of utility here on his back for the pistol round. And NiP was so much for Snappy. He's got the full B execute ready to go. Smokes and flashes raining on it. And the rotation of a 4th player over for VP's defense is arriving. So this is about to be a bloodbath inside of the B bomb site. We've got Arrow's Dots coming in with a double. It's great work. Flatmus and Flip both gone inside of the site. Plant being confirmed.
Plant being confirmed, and Arrow's Dots has given them a 5-on-3. And, I mean, it looks like they're already calling for the save. Fame is backed off. Icy and Electronic are going to use that smoke to cross off. Excuse me, Fame's actually coming in for a very long flank through T-spawn. And there's no kits. So, I mean, this, I think more than, I don't even know. You can't win this round. Exits aren't really all that useful. And there's Arrow's with another one. 3 kills in the round for him. Going to force back the 4th player. And that's the pistol for NiP.
Yeah, Fame's just going to wait outside of the B doors. There is no exit to be found. No one's pushing towards him. So, yeah. In the end, quite a comfortable old pistol here for the Ninjas. Getting into the B bomb site. I mean, so far in this series, the first halves have just been kind of a huge one-sided start.
Yeah.
From NiP on Train, then VP on Dust 2. We'll see if that continues here.
And I'd like it to be different in this one, right? I'd like, I mean, obviously we always, the games that are back and forth are a lot more fun, but I'd like to see both these teams kind of challenging each other and bringing out the best in each other instead of just kind of beating up as one team goes flat. I like to see them actually have to dig into the playbook to beat one another so we can see what these teams got. Round 2, no investment from VP, so should be mostly a wash.
Well, it's going to be a heavy play into the A main area for the USPs. They're going to try and crunch around the back of elbow. Although Shush was in a perfect position to watch for that, and so he gets himself 2 kills. Wrinkle on the follow-up, and Arrow's Dots to close. So NiP, they lose 1 player. And it is a clean start for the T side. We'll get into the gun rounds now for VP.
Little spoiler warning in case you're planning on watching back some of the matches later on. Obviously, we're on our first game on this B stream, Virtus.pro NiP in the 3rd map. The corresponding game over on the A stream was Na'Vi versus M80. That ended in a 2-0 dominant victory for Na'Vi. M80 never getting close. They've already started on their last series of the day over on the other stream. That's Spirit GamerLegion, which has just begun on the 1st map, 3 rounds in. So if you'd like to check a look at that one, see how Donk is doing, you know, keep in touch with your fantasy rosters, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, he was the most picked player.
Very expensive. So I saw from Twitter.
$9,000, yeah. But Spirit will certainly be the fan favorites out in Kazakhstan, so I'm hearing on the ground.
VP?
No,
Who'd you
Spirit.
say?
Spirit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that shouldn't surprise anyone. I know I just questioningly asked if you meant VP, but, you know, Spirit makes
Surprises
sense.
no one apart from Jason. But yes, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing them play.
Well, obviously, the biggest news out of the Spirit camp recently has been Kiyosuke. God, I can never pronounce it. How do you pronounce his name? It's
I say
the weird
Kiyosuke.
inflection.
Yeah. Kiyosuke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? That's how you went for it? You
every
gave it
time.
a little spin, didn't you?
Yeah. A little spice to it. But yeah, going to Falcons are the reports. 40 seconds left on the clock here. Nice and slow. And we still got a 5v5 with Udrix making his way through Red Room. Electronic and Flit just out to the right side. It's going to be a double push in towards the CTs, and Electronic's going to take both.
Yeah, really nice job from him. Just standing tall, steps into the fights, wins both of them. And this hit from Arizdos has been stalled out for quite some time. So as he exits the choke point, no way of knowing where Fame is going to be. And Wrinkle's left all alone, 1v4. He's got another, going to desperately try and get the plant, but here's the swing from Temple. That ain't ever going down. So 2-1.
Yeah, the hunt down comes in, preventing the plant from happening. Wrinkle gives it a good go, but it's Electronic taking 2 kills in red, I think is the sort of turning point in that round. You know, is expected to be at least a trade on that first player. But Electronic stepping up.
Nice transfer as well. Shush is going to feel like he missed that trade. And especially after the series he's had and the maps that he's played, you expect him to get that more often than not. So a little bit of an early frustrating engagement that he'll be able to get over quickly. Wrinkle's going to make the run over towards K very quickly through the flames. Mac 10, P250, and actually he steps through the fire. Oh, they're going to hit this B-bomb site real quickly. Here we go. This is shades of old school Ents. And Flamus has got nothing to do. Snappy's brought his signature style back.
And we were talking about this earlier. You were in particular talking about Snappy and his days events and how Ancient always was a really fun map to watch for them.
Well, if you think of the strengths of that old Ents roster at the end of CS:GO and the start of CS2, like a lot of it was pace changes. A lot of it was getting creative and doing kind of pace changey things with low buys, where you have a Mac 10 and you send him through a Molotov in cave, P250 to back him up. You gain a lot of ground. You let your weaker weapons take that big risk, and if it pays off, then look at that split they have at the B bomb site in the first 15 seconds. No one from VP is expecting that timing whatsoever. And that's the kind of stuff where I'm always like, man, when I'm watching the way CS2 is played right now, I'm like, Snappy, like those ideas that he had and the way he ran that Ents team, it feels like they could work. It feels like there's a lot of things in theory that you could list that should work in the server, and I'm just hoping we actually get to see the results of it inside in the game itself.
Well, pause, looking like a tech issue here. So they get that one resolved as quickly as possible and return to the action here. The save for VP is important. The fact that they got those 3 weapons over, they can still get a good buy coming into this follow-up round. Yeah, confirmation looking like a tech issue on the side. The admin was over having a look. But yeah, we'll see if that save call allows VP to follow up with a round victory.
Very, very vocal on the VP side of things. Flit chiming in just as the timeout comes to a close and we start round 5. Utility exchange in middle. This time Ents play a more standard style. Excuse me, NiP. I've said it so many times that it just stuck in my brain. I just repeated it into a.
And you know the weird thing is I didn't even raise a flag in my head. I was like, yep, fair enough, Jason.
So
we are
natural.
casting Ents now. No.
I'm so sorry. Here we go. Boost it up. And NiP now lining up an attack through Donut. Icy and Fame defending from the A main choke point. Good smoke to delay this attack. And you can see, I mean, it feels like when I'm watching this, NiP really want to hit Donut. But at this point, they're like trying to find something to do in this period where they're stalled out from Donut, so it's not super obvious. VP's actually done a good job of putting him in an awkward position, an uncomfortable position.
Udrix not making any secret about his whereabouts. Stepping loudly as he descends from heaven to middle, and now gets ready for the final play into the A site. 35 seconds. Fame primed and ready, but the flash comes in, severs his vision. Icy off the boost. He's got his teammate, but all the kills for NiP come in at the crucial seconds. Bomb site taken, bomb planted. Electronic getting one from Donut might just reopen the conversation with that kill.
That's not bad. It's given them an opportunity. Do they actually want to go for this? There's no money in the bank. They would lose everything back to a save with just 1 round underneath their belt. Flamus under some fire, backs away, and there goes his teammate.
Well, Flamus have to do it all alone now. He's got a little bit of time left. He's quite heavily committed, but he can back away. And that is the call for Flamus, is to retreat back into CT spawn. Will he get across? Yes, he will. Nice tap.
Yeah, really nice tap, but the round's going to be won by NiP, so 4-1. And yeah, you save this FAMAS, but that's nothing to be super excited about. I think, you know, VP does a really good job in this round of stalling that attack out for like 45 seconds. Like smokes and donut, Molotovs and donut. You can see NiP wanted to go there the whole time. I think if they wanted that, I think that round, if VP can find a way for that two-man B push in lane to be effective, it was only U-Jerks there. If they find that kill and actually gain complete control, I think that this round is a huge success for Virtus.pro. They open up the ability to wrap around donut really quickly, but the fact that away from the action while they stalled it out, they weren't able to get that security, I think that really came back to bite them. So back to pistols. M4 saved by Flamus. And NiP's T-side starting to build some momentum.
Well, charge down into U-Jerks. It's worked out for Icy. And yeah, I mean, we were just talking about at the start of this map the fact that all the maps in this series so far have had one team get out to a really strong lead. And we were hoping that we didn't see that happen again here. We're hoping for more of a back and forth to kick things off, but that's not the case. You've got NiP getting off to an extremely strong T-side lead, and it looks like it's only going to build here in this round.
That's not a bad round, though, from Flamus whatsoever. Like, he really had to press the issue and really kind of force those fights, but he's done decent enough damage and passed the M4 off. The thing that sucks for Virtus.pro, outside of only having one M4, is the fact that, you know, Shush has already made his way into this A bomb site, so he's got the safety net to call the rest of his team over, and this round's done. No way to kind of convert any of the damage that had been done to Snappy or Wrinkle and maybe hope that you can turn this round on its head. NiP are just going to take 5.
Yep, 5-1. Continue to build this beautiful start they've got. M4 being saved for Electronic.
Sorry, Twitch chat is just so savage. Shout out to Teacup Strems. Imagine paying 1 mil for Electronic to lose to a random face-it stack with 59-year-old Snappy IGL. And the 59-year-old part is what kills me. That's great.
Poor Snappy.
Just taking strays for no reason. Calling it a brilliant game, using all 59 years of experience to get his team in the right position, and just getting trashed.
Bro, I just love how fickle and volatile the chat is, though, because I was looking at it during Dust 2, and they were like, every team Snappy joins, he destroys. And then it's like, when the comeback's happening, every team Electronic joins, he destroys. It's like, where are we, guys?
What are we doing here?
What a journey. All right, buy is finally back for VP. They got money.
Let's see what they can do with it. Molotov down. Wrinkle wants to challenge, and he eats a nade on top of it. Layered utility. And we know Wrinkle loves those fights, and we know Wrinkle's very, very good at those fights, but this time, not even a chance, not even a glimpse at the fight he wanted. But Snappy might just actually get a little crazy. They could actually just pop into B off the back of this. They already have U-Jerks in position over at the Beehive.
Oh, there's U-Jerks. Flamus to fall. And the 4v4 established off the back of those kills, but it's so back and forth. Another kill, but a team kill comes in. Shush removing his own teammate. It's chaos inside of the B bomb site. And Shush has a 1v2 left in front of him. Doesn't have the info of where the second player is. He knows exactly where Fame is, but they're doubled up. And Shush gets that read now. Spots Icy. Back turn. Needed the kill. Now they double peek him, and Icy even wins it with a USP.
Oh, man, he had the exact fight. Shush does great work. I think maybe a little bit of trigger discipline, but I mean, in that situation, a tense situation, you're pulling that. Just misses the kill. If he finds Icy, would have been able to put something cool together. First time out for NiP. 5-2, a really nice attempt after losing the initial engagement on Wrinkle. A good follow-up play from U-Jerks over towards the B bomb site, but NiP can't close it out. So Virtus.pro put a round on the board, but now they've got to build some momentum. They've got to build into this and string rounds together. You've got the op on Icy. You finally got a bunch of rifles, a bunch of utility, 3 kits. You got everything you need to get this half started.
It's just an unfortunate team kill there as well. And Flamus extremely happy with that one. All right, VP needed it. Not out of the woods just yet. Is NiP able to come back with another strong buy? And it's a simple call here from Snappy. It's a quick A play. Flamus needs to ready himself. He needs to steady his stance as they come in towards him. Waits in behind the tall box. No one's checked him. No one has checked his position, and Flamus unravels two. Nearly a third kill out of it as well. Gets a dink before going down to Aras. That's some huge impact coming in from him. We got NiP putting the bomb down, but Flit with the kill just after that. The planter not able to get back to safety, and Aras, remember, got dinked earlier, so he's only got 10 HP as he fights on.
Oh, I can't believe he's got another one, though. Nice and quick. That's a good find to get into some safety. However, Electronic with the MP9, and you've got low HP, and you're not expecting Temple. You are now. Aras goes down for free. It's all on Snappy, and they know exactly where he is, and Icy can block him off, and that's the kill. That's the round. Virtus.pro get 3.
Not bad at all. Great recovery. I mean, that is just not checking the tall box. Like, one of the strongest positions from behind that box, and they just don't even look at it. Flamus is loving the fact he gets 2.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's one of the spots that the detail is gonna change. I mean, like, when you go for a fast tactic like that, like, the advantage you gain is the surprise and the speed of it, but the thing you lose is the kind of protocols of clearing all these corners and checking these details and throwing a Molotov into these positions. You just don't have the time for it. So good job from Flamus. Still quite a grind to win that round even after the double kill, but he does enough to make NiP uncomfortable. And now it's back down to a really haggard buy. Galil's and a MAC-10, but the MAC-10 works on Snappy. Because why the hell not? It doesn't make any sense, but we love it.
Yeah, that's what Snappy does, man. He's done it throughout his career. He's really good on the SMGs, just throws balls to the wall, runs out mid, gets himself 2 kills on it.
And it's so frustrating. Even, like, I mean, I have fun watching it, but I do in my head, I'm like, why is a MAC-10 working this well? Why is it only on Snappy's teams?
Well, it could still go the other way here.
It still go the other way.
Electronic's waiting for the donut player. He's not alone. He's got Flamus. He's teeing him up with a flashbang.
There's a 2-man stack in here, though.
Yeah, but do they? If they get the, oh, they don't. They don't take huge arcs down, and so yeah, the 2-man stack should be impossible to penetrate. And Electronic, in fact, doesn't want any of that. So he's going to fall away. We are looking at a 6th round win for NiP, and the MAC-10, it gets the job done. And he's out there alone. He's the only one. That strat is so hard to deal with. I think for some, just like when it's thrown at you randomly.
Yeah,
it's like the way if the flashes are chained properly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, Snappy's like style feels like it should be so good for CS2, because just like that's like throwing those random plays in with the MAC-10, like that random piece of aggression that you don't expect because it is insane. But you've got 4 Galils, very little utility, and Snappy's like, well, you know what? Let's throw this MAC-10 into the mix and let's see what works. And he's done it twice now on this map. That's his 2nd time he's been able to throw a MAC-10 into an aggressive situation. I think previously it was Udrix or Aras through Cave, one of the 2 of them who found an opening at the B-bomb site. Now you've got Snappy finding 2 of them in mid. So this kind of like switch up of when you're throwing that low risk weapon into the fire has worked out really well for him.
Wrinkle's turn to try and get involved in an early fight. He's lost half of his health from that grenade dropping in on him. Flit though gets the opening kill. And it's going to be a commitment through B, trying to get through this. Wrinkle throwing bodies at the problem here, but Electronic cleaning up. MP9 into the double kill. We're starting to get a real back and forth game to kick off Ancient now. No one being able to string rounds together. Icy coming around the back. Shush going down to the ground. And 2 rounds left in this half. VP have a chance to tie things up.
Especially, I think it's especially feeling scrappy because we've seen in this map more than anything, like Snappy's calling be this sort of scrappy style of with these low buys and with the kind of pace changes, more fast paced, more quicker pieces of aggression to open up rounds on this map. And I think his philosophy, I think, is that he can get under the skin of VP and maybe catch him off guard. Like, this is Counter-Strike that in your head is kind of like not textbook, so it can be frustrating to deal with. It's got him 6 rounds so far, 2 remaining in this first half.
Wrinkle trying to make the MAC-10 work, but can't make it look as pretty as Snappy does. So,
look,
2 kills from Flit on the jump up.
He's pretty good, but he's not a miracle worker. It's not going to work every single time.
Flamus comes in, Electronic on the cleanup squad, and yeah, you have to buy. It doesn't work. Now we have nothing left, so it's going to be another weak force buy to round out the first half. So we're really looking at 6-6. Should be looking at that.
Should be, in theory. Similar buy to what they had in the last round, though. Like, I mean, in terms of some weaker weapons, no MAC-10 on the board. They just upgraded pistols. Deagles and Tech 9s for NiP in this 12th and final round of the opening half. Virtus.pro looking to tie things up. And again, much like Much like the first map of the series, it was like a very slow start for Virtus.pro, and then they kind of bring it back in the later stages of the first half. But much like Train as well, they're going to switch over to the T side. And if that falls flat, it's just like, what's the point?
Oof, grenade on Flit. He's down to 7 HP. Gonna send the util over the top into the B lane peak here for Faye. Sees the Deagle at the bottom of the double doors. But so far, so good for VP. They got the control outside of B that they want. They've got mid control. They really know that the only play that NiP have available is to go into A.
They're going to have to back off their mid positions after this smoke. It's the last one they've got for elbow. So you could see Flit fall all the way back with low HP. Fame is starting to get aggressive to give himself an escape route and control B lane. For NiP, they've had to sit back and be this passive because they don't have utility or the weapons to really take map control and to do this round in stages. They have maybe one execute with 2 smokes and 4 flashbangs. But you're not taking control against an AWP and M4s with just pistols with that kind of utility. So here's the first layer of it to give them mid control. 1 smoke and 2 flashes, you would imagine, for the A-bomb site as they try and work them. Oh no. Gonna head towards the B site, so jumping up towards cave. So final play towards the B site with a smoke and a flash.
Fame just having a little jiggle, a little wiggle into the cave. He's going to spot them running towards him. He's going to pull out that AK.
As well.
It looks like he's a little stressed out trying to deal with the ramp play and the cave push coming in. So the Tech 9s erupt. And suddenly NiP, with just enough time to put that bomb down, it will go through. A 3v2 is still in their favor, as they have some picked up weapons as well. Looking for a 7-5 half on the T side of Ancient.
I think they got it.
They dig in deep into the post plant. They've got a mid flank coming in as well.
Flit's got 7
with a
health.
peek from the site. Shoes gives one away. The last 2 players are pretty low. Snappy's flank on 69 HP. He's coming around the backside with a Tech 9. They're not reading this play. They're not reading the flank. Snappy's power position comes in with a kill on Flit, and it's all on Icy. Gets one, taps the defuse, trying to draw Snappy into it, but he doesn't buy it. He doesn't believe it. And so he's just won it by not peeking, not giving him that stick, and that'll end up being a 7th round for NiP, secured at the end with Tech 9s.
I mean, essentially 3 low buy round wins in this half for NiP. You had the Mac 10 through cave to start things off. You had Snappy's Mac 10 in middle, and now you have this kind of slow round, let VP burn their utility, and we're going to hit a cave attack essentially at the end of it. A split from B ramp and through cave with Tech 9s. And they just couldn't hold on. If Lemus even drops the Molotov over towards the ramp, but I think the problem is he has got too many opponents streaming out of cave behind him. His teammate had gone down and he felt like he had to get aggressive over the fire. That's a rough round to lose, and if you're VP and those are the 3 rounds, like you're thinking about those low buys, losing to those Mac 10s, losing to those Tech 9s, and you feel like this half could have been so much better. But now we switch over. And this is where they had the problems on the first map, was the T side, Virtus.pro on Train. Was T side just had absolutely no production, and that can't happen here in this deciding map. So let's see what Electronic has got his team prepared for here on Ancient. 38% win rate on the map for Virtus.pro. They have lost their last 4 outings on it. 9-13 against Spirit, 7-13 against Rare Atom, 7-13 against GamerLegion, all at PGL Bucharest, 10-13 against Liquid at IEM Melbourne. And for NiP, it's an upset on the cards for their opening map of PGL Astana. Now, if you're just joining us, we're in here for the pregame for the opening map coming into this series. A win here for NiP would move them up 12 places in the VRS. Good opening kill from Icy. A 5-on-4 advantage for VP.
Arizdos up next.
This is going to be tricky because Virtus.pro is going all the way back around through T-spawn back towards B. So depending on how Udrix decides to play this, he could just get caught. Yep.
That's exactly what happens. As soon as you say Udrix goes down, a minute left. Rotation coming over of Shush to try and just bolster that B bomb site defense. There's a pathway for VP to just bail out from B, completely go back into the A play, and they're going to do that now. starting to move forward. They've got an empty A site confirmed to them by Flit, who is now running through.
Great calling from Electronic. Has given his team a really easy pistol round. You know, the opening pick and middle, you go back and you find the aggressive B player, and then you're like, they have to over-rotate. 3 versus 5. They have to respect this B bomb site and over-rotate, so let's just go and find the free one.
Molly goes into the donut. Here comes the close clearance. Icy's going to win that fight despite the advantage looked like it was in the hands of Shush, and they don't pick anybody up on that attempted retake. So 6 rounds for VP. They win the pistol. Well, the gap is just 1, which they should close in this round because there's no money really left here for NiP. See if they decide to go for a force buy or not. I imagine they won't.
Well, this makes things interesting for the second half now for VP. Good job from Icy. Impacting the pistol with that P250. There is a second round buy, or a 14th round buy, whichever way you want to look at it. MP9's on Wrinkle and Shush.
Oh, look at this. Oh my god, they run right by him. Oh my god, Shush gets away with a double. Is there more? There absolutely is. Shoots with a triple kill, and he just keeps going. Nearly 4 for 1 man. Going aggressive into A main. VP run into the MP9.
Now, if you're okay, those are the kills you can't give up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't even. I don't even necessarily fault Snappy. That's a jiggle. That's a really nice shot from Flit. He's trying to keep information. Look at the position of Wrinkle. As long as he doesn't move and he's going to hear these footsteps, this round's done.
Free. It's an absolute free kill here. No problem for Wrinkle. Oh my god.
Shush.
Dude, I thought they might just eco this round. NiP
Oh,
force
my
buy,
Lord.
and Shush gets so much done.
Let's see this again. How is there no trade? Do they split up? One goes straight, one goes left? No, they both come at him. They both just have utility. They're both just throwing flashes to put pressure or activate a really fast-paced rush, would force out some counter utility, whatever it was. It's exactly what Shush needed to ruin their day. No, just too good for him, huh? It's just too good for him, he says. I like that. That is a massive hurdle inside the server for Virtus.pro to overcome. It's a massive hurdle mentally for them to overcome.
And Shush just doesn't stop. Another multi-kill opener. Oh my god, Shush. Okay. Go and get all of them.
Yeah, he's too damn good for him, he said. He's just proven it.
Dude, what is it with Shush in the second half in this series, dude? Like, he has a 6 second half on Train, brilliant second half on Dust 2 that nearly allows the full comeback, and now he's doing this on Ancient. He's the second half player.
Yeah, he's... Yeah, he's having himself quite a day. Quite a day in the office for old Shush.
Now it's an eco.
Oh no, this is why I said it's a huge obstacle for them mentally. Like, third map, you lose the second round like that after winning the pistol. You're starting to close things up. You have the scoreline close like that. That's just so frustrating. So frustrating for a team that I think probably has some frustration built into it out of the gate.
Into the charge and into the meat grinder. As it is a comfortable close on a 10th round win here for NiP. Starting to see the end of the series, starting to get into a position where they might just 2-0 Virtus.pro today. Oh, 2-1 Virtus.pro today.
Well, and I think the problem now is going to be that NiP has so much money. Like, if you're Virtus.pro, what the past 2 rounds have been no players falling for the NiP side of things. So back-to-back rounds, 5 players surviving. Money is huge. 7,800 on Wrinkle on the Alper. He's not even upgrading just yet. I mean, this has to be a round winner. You need 4 kills if you're VP. Like, you need to limit this economy somehow. Playing the game on Nightmare mode, down 4.
It's quick into the attack. Flick going 1 for 1 with Snappy. Electronic making sure that it's quick work. And he's going to slip back into the smoke safely. So 4v3 for VP. They've got the advantage here in round 17.
Yeah, but look what all this aggression activated. It opened up the option for you jerks to make this kind of a play. And he had the courage to step through the smoke and see that it's clear. he can be a menace on this map. Now, it's unfortunate because he's so far away in this pushback at T-spawn, they can still kind of rotate back into where he just vacated. So actually, Wrinkle can't really leave the B bomb site or believe that it's clear. Making sure as the smoke fades that he's not going to get flanked out, but Virtus.pro's pacing on this has been too fast. They found the perfect gap. And Wrinkle, I think, is going to be surprised when he comes back. Still wins it, though.
Mollied back. His teammates so far away from this, but there's still time on that fuse. Wrinkle, grenade going around the corner. It's going to land on Icy. Important kill here for Fame to take one. On a second. Okay, Fame has done it. He's held on to this round for his team.
Udrix makes that play for the big flank, and it just never comes to fruition. That's got to be so frustrating that you make a play like that that feels so perfect, and you've just taken yourself out of the chance to have impact for like a good 45 seconds of this round. Gotta be frustrating for you, Jerks. 10-7. Virtus.pro do win the round and start to put a dent in that economy that's been growing this whole time. I think, honestly, like, I think it's just maybe a miscommunication from NiP. If Udrix makes that kind of a push and play, it's almost like either he needs to stick around or Wrinkle needs to stick around at the B-bomb site.
Yeah, I will say something crazy.
All right, I just heard Snappy say he was going to say something crazy during this timeout.
Okay.
So that gets me excited.
Let's go. What's crazy on Snappy's metric?
I know. He said, timeout, boys, I'm going to say something crazy. So we're in for a treat, I feel, in this next round. Everyone go get your water and your popcorn right now. You got 10 seconds.
And your water fountains, make sure you get those as well. I'm just listening to a constant stream of water, guys. It's great.
I know. I do kind of have to pee. Thanks to this fountain.
Keeps us focused. Keeps us in the edge of our seats.
The edge of 10-7. Here we go. What's Snappy got that's crazy?
Yeah, what has he got? It's so far pretty standard as a push to the smoke coming in. Mid push as they attack towards elbow. And Snappy's just moved out into B lane. So I guess this is the crazy play from him. And it's worked out. Well done, Snappy. Come out on top. Looks down, finds Flamus. And a 5v4 off the back of the in-game leader's move.
And now you have complete B lane control as well. Like, Snappy's even peeking towards the jump up. He's got two teammates over in middle who are saying mid's clear. So, I mean, they pretty much know there's nothing going on. Molly towards elbow is going to activate his dose to get aggressive, along with Wrinkle. He had to have heard the footstep in the flames. So the ult now in position, and Wrinkle misses the opportunity. It was set up and orchestrated so nicely. But Snappy's there for two more, because why the hell not? Triple kill for the IGL.
Now here comes the rush. It's going to be Udrix to drop Electronic, and it's all done. It's going to be 11 rounds to 7. And NiP might just walk out of this round unscathed as well. They can keep all 5 players alive. Icy's walking out into the open. The AWP should bring him down, and in fact, that is the result. So 5 players up for NiP, building that money into the late stages of this third and final map. It's going to start to feel quite similar to the T side on Train for VP, where they're not too much is working out for them at the moment. I like that move from Snappy though. You know, going through cave, getting the smokes. It's a risky play, but
he said it was going to be crazy,
but it paid off.
I mean, I've always enjoyed Snappy as an IGL, I think, because part of it is like when I watch him play and when I've spoken to him in the past, like I feel like he's not an IGL that feels constrained whatsoever by, like, I guess, like the quote unquote right way to play Counter-Strike. Like, he is willing to do some crazy things, and he is willing to experiment and think outside the box. And I think that's been a feature of his IGLing, you know, for the last 5 years since it's kind of come up in ENCE. And I think it makes sense when you think about his history of how long he's been playing and competing. As we mentioned, a couple of years ago in Dallas was his first S-tier trophy after like over 10 years of playing and competing in Counter-Strike. So I think as an IGL that's kind of never really had those accomplishments that are similar to the other Danish IGLs out there, he's probably had to get a little bit creative with the pieces he's had to work with and the ideas he's had.
Ooh, Flit walking right into Arizdos in middle, so that's going to be an opening kill here for NiP. And when you don't have much to work with, losing the opening kill feels pretty sad right now for VP. Well, they're going to go for a B execute. Might be able to get away with the bomb plan at most.
They got 3 Glocks. I would say a bomb plan is highly unlikely. But crazier things have happened, and with the smokes in play, they might actually just play retake. So plant, yeah, looking possible, but going to be challenged.
And bomb hasn't moved, though. Bomb is waiting at the bottom of the ramp, so I think their window of opportunity is shutting closed. Wrinkle with the no-scope. Udrix and Snappy coming in with a couple of kills, and they do get a bomb plant. So
just at the final moment.
At the most, it is in fact the bomb plant.
Yeah, a little extra cash in the bank. Let's see if it can actually do anything with it. Another chance for Virtus.pro's offense to get rolling. They won the pistol, lost the second. And then they won the 5th round of the half, a gun round, but that's it so far. 2 rounds in this second half. And NiP getting ever closer to closing out this series. Pushing Virtus.pro down to the 0-1 Swiss group. As NiP have come and showed up to this event in Astana looking to make a name for themselves. A long time for this team outside of Tier 1 Counter-Strike. Trying to gain the VRS points necessary for invites, trying to qualify for events, and looking to capitalize now that they finally accomplished that goal.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, they climbed 12 places, getting a win here, and they're damn close to doing it. 1 round away. Electronic going out over the top. It's Arizdos to take him off the top of heaven. Flit to go into the open. Wrinkle with a missed shot, fully committed in middle, so he goes down. Oh, Flit on the follow-up.
Look at the flank, though. Snappy's already pushed out A main. He's been getting crazy the last few rounds, and they're going to get stuck. They're going to get bottlenecked in T mid. Snappy's got a great chance.
Oh, he doesn't take it. He goes a little further, realizes he has to take that kill. There was a timing for Flamus to look back, but now they know they've been flanked.
Oh my god. Oh my lord.
He just crossed with a flash. Oh. He just crossed with a flash in his hand. He gets away with one. He gets away with it. Under a minute left as Fame moves forward. He's going to try and track him back into CT, but this time Udrix has his gun out, and this time Udrix is going to step up with a kill. So VP fall to 2 players, but he's given up the B bomb site.
Yeah, that's a footstep. That's why Flame tries to make that play. He's like, okay, I just heard footsteps run to the A bomb site. That was the B rotator. B bomb site's got to be wide open, and indeed it is. Snappy hasn't budged over from elbow. So once again, going to be a 2v3 post plant in the favor of NiP, but they've got to orchestrate how to cross all this ground. Smoke just goes up at the box. Snappy's got a flank, but he's on his own for quite some time. And NiP decide the retake, the play, is all 3 players coming from the flank, and they should, you'd imagine, bait Arizdos.
NiP to close this series. Their opening game here at PGL Astana 2025, a 3v2 retake into the site, time ticking on the fuse. Icy's got a headshot. Arizdos goes down. Udrix burning. Time is of the essence, and Snappy gets taken away by Icy, and we play on. VP not dead yet, and we'll move forward into another round victory on what has to be a stellar comeback.
Yeah, somehow they've made another round just work. 2 versus 3. They find the avenue to the B bomb site, completely relinquished by NiP by the rotation from Udrix. Missed shot from Wrinkle. He'll be frustrated about. NiP, no cause for panic just yet. You've still got 4 more opportunities. But for VP, all celebration as they stay alive in this series. And look at the muddy. Look at the muddy on NiP. They got another bye after this round if they're to lose. It's going to be so hard for Virtus.pro to come back in this.
Snappy goes out into the open. It's another aggressive maneuver on the CT side that has given Snappy the player advantage to work with.
I can't believe he's going back for more. He's still kind of jiggling and challenging. Another smoke goes down, so spamming away. And now going to respect the fact that VP can slide through it and back off with low health. 3 players from VP outside of the B bomb site. Flit's the solo player on the other side of the map lurking towards elbow. He'll be there to cut off mid rotations or help provide them with an escape route if the B bomb site proves untenable.
No one in middle here for NiP, no one spotting it, so...
And no sound ticks on the Molotov just thrown. But no mobility, no movement, no rotation from NiP just yet.
Astralis, here's them running towards Donut's, gonna deploy that smoke. Try and slow them down, but they've got to come through it. There's only 29 seconds left, so they blow it open. Here comes Flit. Oh!
Terrible setup. That is a terrible setup.
Yeah, they both just play in the open. Makes it easy for that A main player to come in. No strength in that whatsoever. And NiP into the save.
That's an unforced error, too. It's not like Virtus.pro did anything to force them into that setup. It's not like they took away options with utility. That is just kind of, I think, getting lost in the moment and then realizing you're in a situation, Aristos, where he's blocked off Donut, and he feels like his only option is to just kind of sit there or get aggressive in A main, but he doesn't know numbers anywhere. So just kind of played himself. But with the money, NiP can afford to an extent a round like that where they just say, all right, well, back off, and we've got money to replenish Shush and Aristos.
Terrorists win.
Well, Udros goes down at the end, but the AWP saved, and Snappy's rifle as well. But that's another round where NiP get an opening kill. You know, Snappy's aggressive play coming out. He gets that opening pick, and they had a real shot at closing out the map there. You're forcing them to come through a donut smoke in the final 25 seconds.
And here's a little bit of danger for NiP down the stretch of this, because you're just alluding to it, so I'll just build on top of it. I mean, you have 2 rounds late. The last 2 rounds, you've got the opening kill, and you're not able to close out the 5-on-4s. You've now had 2 rounds, 2 clutch rounds where you've lost 3-on-2s as well at that B-bomb site. So if you're NiP, you're just thinking about this. You're like, okay, we've got the opening kills, not able to convert them. We've put ourselves in man advantage post-plant situations twice. We're not able to win them. So yeah, you start getting a little bit frustrated that this map isn't over. This series isn't done just yet. 3 more chances. And thankfully for NiP, the money is their ally. They've got such a strong economy down the stretch that it's another really difficult buy to VP break down. A difficult buy for VP to break down.
Now, we all remember the comeback on Dust 2 from NiP. He got it for the final round of regulation. And then it got closed out. Flit, he's going to kill himself. Combined with the damage of Wrinkle. Now his DOS aggressive off the top of the ledge. Catches Flammus. We're now looking at a 5v3. And NiP, you surely cannot let this one go.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. It's like, you know, we couldn't do the 5-on-4s, but the 5-on-3s should be just fine. And now make it a 5-on-2. As Electronic, a desperate play out of the smoke in middle. It's all down to Fame and Icy at B-ramp, and they're going to try and force their way in, and they've done it.
There's no way. Surely. Fame is dragging them back into a competitive position again. Plant coming in. Fame's going to make sure he dodges those bullets coming through the wood, and we've got a 2v3 post-plant that they can actually win. We've seen them in a situation like this before.
This ain't a 2v3 post-plant. This is a 2 versus 5 round. This should be impossible.
Fame was the hero in the post plan just a few rounds ago, but he's gone now. So it's all on Icy and a missed shot and a missed opportunity. It's going to be NiP coming in their opening game of the competition here at PGL Astana 2025. They've got a win versus Virtus.pro, a 2-1. And we talk about this team. We know the struggles they've had having to build a new roster in the VRS system of 2025. They've had